The frick, dude? What the frick? Yeah, frickin' Twitter notification. Sigma male grind set motivation. I just go to like Google search results and just keep like searching. What's up, Wasim? Maybe I will like find a good image. What do you guys think? Ooh, I like this one. Oh, this is a good one. We need to use this one. Being alone is a power that very few people can handle. Yes. This is a good one. That is a quality image for our Twitter and Discord notification. Yes, we will use this. We will use this. Hello, Christian Crusader. Christian Crusader. Ah! My voice! All right, now we do my Discord notification. Everyone's going to be happy to hear. Being alone has a power that very few people can handle. Yes. Brilliant. Chat, I have such an exciting thing to show you guys. You guys actually have no idea. I have like the funniest thing ever I got to show you all. Wait. No. The fastest way to access this. Remind me rap later. I actually have such a banger thing to show you guys. The Pete Rick Ballman quote. Yes. Oh yeah, I need to get my freaking lunch. Give me a second. I get my lunch. Is it your tax bill? No, shut up, Matt.
No, 15 seconds to go. Two Tracer on the map. You got a staggered Kronos too. Yeah, this might be just done. Naga should be able to get touch. Triple blink onto point, has pulse bomb in 2%. Oh, he got punched. Oh,
he's dead.
Nice heads up play there from Doge with his positioning, knowing that the Tracer has to triple blink in. Good stuff from New Age. Okay, series on our hands here is Peps get
sure do.
0 on that. Well, I guess 94%, but they get 0 points. They didn't even unlock the payload.
It's still winnable.
Everything's winnable.
I'm not gonna lie with you guys.
It's winnable. It's just
I'm not gonna answer a single question or say a word until I finish this lunch.
Actually quite difficult.
It should be like 3 minutes, 4 minutes.
Having a cab,
but I have got to eat. So I'm gonna freaking ghost every question that's asked.
I don't know. Like
You could ask me if I won $1 million. You're getting ghosted. I'm not saying a word. So just FYI.
So good until you realized it was difficult to actually break past the dive.
Yeah, they were kind of moving as a unit, but getting picked off there on the rotation.
Yeah. Why don't you answer the questions yourself? Let's try that. Go ahead.
Exactly. You're spear spinning, you can fortify, etc. You can help your team in that way, but if you get picked off on the cross, which is what Dive does very good at, is picking people off, especially when they're trying to rotate to different areas of the map. You end up in a 4v5, and then you just slowly end up bleeding out because the resources just aren't there for you. And because you've made that rotation, it's harder for your spawner to also rejoin your team. So
exactly. You're sat there as ducks waiting to be slaughtered, I think is, or pigs waiting to be slaughtered. Is that the?
that is
the
the
word?
expression.
Sorry, I was like,
Yeah.
the ducks sitting in a row there. But you got the Orisa on defense. I think it plays a little bit better here when you have the rotations on back of point.
Did you guys hear that?
Again, have Nuage that's playing this dive comp, looking for an open.
Ducks waiting to be slaughtered.
Yeah, I mean, with Dip
Genji
on the
too.
Genji now, again, this is might just want to wait up for a lot of ults. Oh my word, those shurikens hitting hybrids square in the face. Yeah, you can't let the Tracer get away with anything here either. Naga's going to be the biggest dissuading factor for Team Peps. The New Age not like diving in and kind of like inting on top of them.
Look at that. I mean, already stalling for so much time though, right? Like this is a minute that's going to be off of that clock. But
Right, yeah,
as soon as
because they can't
gets through there.
They can't insta-bin somebody, and that's the important thing. They have to just kind of execute and just get on top of one person. Hopefully they die. If it's just slam damage over and over again. Just waiting for the Tracer, and it looks like the Lucio 2, Natsuki, and Sharp now make it to the Mega Health Pack room. Point. Of course, about 94%, we'll call it 95.
Getting there,
The
chap.
victory here.
Ooh.
Just
Rush is
ult. That's
on
all they're waiting for.
Blade.
Rush Blade. Oh, well, actually,
one.
Blade's way too far away, so maybe not. There's Kitsune's, or there's Kunai, sorry, just demolishing the front line. Good window, but Doji's just going to stand next to it. And yeah, Meteor Strike straight on top of the Orisa. A lot of that damage has been blocked. Oh, rough on from Ben Best there, trying to use that ultimate, trying to lock Doji in place, but it's not going to happen. No tick acquired for New Age, but again, they're slowly bleeding out here. Team Peps are able to kite away. New Age gets one tick in 2 minutes. 2 minutes to go now as Sharp falls, and that will be the reset from New Age. Very winnable from Team Peps. Same with New Age 2. It's Blade, you know, naked Blade, not so great. You really do need Nano. The targets you're looking for here, what, Kronos or Hybrid maybe? But there's a sound barrier from FD God if they really need to use it, but sometimes you don't even need to nowadays.
Yeah, the Blade's so rough because like you do need that bit of amplified damage in order to actually slash through some of these targets with the way that they change some of Genji's kit, but you can still make them scatter. That's still valuable when you look at the space that can create. But yeah, it's not going to be like it's not going to be a fancy ultimate, I guess.
They got to kill Sharp. They have to kill one person here. Do a Team Peps. There's the Blaze shot on top of Hybrid. There's the sound barrier though, and the lamp as well. Lampington doing a lot for Team Peps there, stopping Dip from doing anything. 1 minute and 10 seconds to go. Yeah, the beat, the Blade forces the beat. That is probably the best outcome you can possibly get from just a naked Blade nowadays. It's just forcing a big support ultimate like a sound barrier. That was a good trade by Dip, I'd say.
sure.
60 seconds to go. They got one tick. But Team Peps have 4 ults in the bank. This rush from Buddy, they're going to have to just insta-bin somebody. They're going to end up using that sound barrier to go forwards. Buddy still has the ultimate, and there's the kill. Kronos dead, Hybrid falls too. Buddy ends up getting taken out by Naga's Pulse Bomb, and Sharp also just a menace in the backline. The rush super late, and New Age, they are just going to be able to run over Team Peps. Kronos going down like that is not what you want to see. Team Peps routed, and there is the map. 1 apiece in the series so far. No 3 Overwatch today.
That is going to be a very quick capture, but that's what they were waiting for. Even if it doesn't work 3 out of the 4 times, it only has to work once. So, there you go.
Yeah,
Rush.
That's all they needed that Blade for, was forcing that sound barrier, and then they just rush in with the beat.
Almost done.
The rush on the end of it, boom, kill Kronos. Kronos, like, I guess you can quickly pop down window, but you know, in that small fraction of time, you're like trying to throw lamp, trying to survive, right? Hoping, obviously, FD God can kind of boot people away. But yeah, no beat, no problems for.
Wondering if like if it looks a little different if you like put the window down first, but it's so tough to call what you're gonna try to layer there.
Even if you put down window there, it kind of sucks because then you're already getting dived on, so it's like, meh. You're not really using it anyway, but yeah, they were clearly just trying to lamp themselves, or maybe the lamp didn't even go down. I'd have to watch the replay, obviously, towards the very end, but Kronos was the perfect target for Nuage. They execute on it well, and they take the map. And what was actually quite a close defense and offense there.
It was close. I think like what really Team Pep struggled with is the fact that they had to switch up their comp on the attack a couple of times, and the Sigma is just so slow after you had already utilized so much time on the Orisa. I get the theory behind it, right? You have the shield; it helps you make those rotations just a little bit.
I just
faster,
dumped
but
at
you're
least
still getting stopped at the doorway with
at least a gallon of water in my groin.
you've already used.
That was unfortunate.
Good effort though, and we still have several games ahead of us when we look
Okay,
at the series.
let's catch up on chat here.
Esperanza.
Let's catch up here. Hello, everybody. Swaggy streams, yes. Hey, Orb, you're pulling for new. They have refused the Malga. Fair enough. Hello. Posture check. Thank you. What is the lunch? Just chicken and rice. Nothing fancy. It sells. Hello. Can we go back to deep voice, Spilo? What? Eat properly then? I'll answer the questions for you. Butthead, Spilo sucks. Why are you so short? So, genetics, not enough milk and carrots. I have carrots. I have a little carrot here. Why did my father leave to buy cigarettes and never come back? Too much Overwatch. Sharp Tracer, is it? Yeah, it looked pretty good there. Top tier streamer content, yes. And then a roast by highlight here. Let's do the roast by highlight really fast. Teammates told me to clip it. A little bit of an AI title here, but
Adaptive circuits engaged. Honor.
no.
Lights out. Personnel duplication focusing.
That's a pretty funny clip. That was a pretty funny clip. What skin is that? What skin is that, chat? What skin is that?
Lights out. Personnel duplication focusing.
Captain Amari? No, not the honest skin, you
Circuits
moron.
engaged.
I'm saying the Echo skin. What is that? Ice Angel? Interesting. Yeah. No, it's not Owl. It's not Owl. Yeah, this is the good review, but AI bro. Ah, wait a second. Paladins TV show. Wait, have gun will travel. I swear I found an AI generated. I found an AI. Dude, I found it. Dude, I am convinced that there are AI generated YouTube channels now. Check this out. Something showed up my recommendations about like have gun will travel. Dude, I am convinced this is an AI generated YouTube channel. Check this out. Look at this. And listen to like the. Wait, I'm just going to click like a random one.
And I'm not in the rock and roll.
But do you fairy tale and found struggles that have scared her deeply. In this video, you will see the shocking and unfiltered truth about the hardships that Cher has endured and was born in the Georgia Kesian.
And there was like one about like, where was the Paladins one? Yeah.
First for his iconic role as Paladin in Have Gun Will Travel. Richard was a multi-talented man who dedicated all his life seeking his craft, firearm.
And the weird part about it too is you like look in the comments and it's either like major boomer comments or like AI generated comments as well. It feels like these videos are almost like marketed to like a specific like subset of people too. Like they're like you look at this, it's got like a Baron Trump or whatever. I don't know anything about Baron Trump. 958,000 views. Look at the comments. They're all very like boomerish comments. And then even like stuff like I don't know, Robert Plant. Sure, why not? It's just like very like generic comments, and it's like 557,000 views. So it's like it must have like there's some demographic that these videos are marketed to. it's creepy, dude. It's creepy. And they're like released like 25, like there's like 3 or 4 a day. I don't know. It's weird. It's kind of like it's like some of these are like really unsettling. And they're all like either like really weird or like really sexual. It's like it's messed up, dude. Yeah, I told you, it's like disturbing. It's like uncanny valley crap.
YouTube has a problem. Most of our information ecosystem has a problem at this point.
I think this guy smells like cedar. What do you guys think?
But since I call this little corner of the internet my home, and that's science communication, I have a problem too. The problem is an epidemic of mis- and misleading content made to scam your attention, written and read by bots created by probably nefarious individuals for monetary gain alone. You've probably seen what I'm talking about. How many ostensibly educational YouTube channels like these have you come across? There always seems to be at least one in my recommendations or watch next. I don't think I've ever actually clicked on one of these myself, but I assume that people do. The topics being
That's
broad,
true, actually.
sciencey, and, well, pretty provocative. Now, I never thought much about these channels until one of my facility members pointed out that there's something a little weird going on with all of them. A possibly coordinated effort to skim your precious...
You already started? All right, we'll have to toss over. My bad, y'all. My bad, y'all.
Dive, so
But dude, it's seriously unsettling. All right, so we got Malga Moira, Sombra Tracer, New Age refusing to bite the bullet. I think the Echo is really good versus the Malga. She could basically hold an angle and just melt Malga. The one problem with the Echo is that it is fairly fragile to the Sombra Tracer. Like, it does limit the angles that you can take. You have to be super, super attentive. But yeah, if your Tracer's marking the angle, it is possible. And the Kiriko is basically because you need some sort of range shield for the Sombra, or the Echo. Yeah. But I do think the Echo can like absolutely like dumpster Malga if given the opportunity to in terms of damage. Like, you could do so much damage. Plus the DPS passive, even with the nerfed thing, is like you can really mess up the Malga. Now the Moira is interesting. Moira is pretty good at like just managing off angles and managing DPS like herself. The problem being that you don't really have any support for your Sombra Tracer. I've been seeing Moira used a lot to kind of like burst heal Malga during like these really like down times, and then not also being fragile herself. You don't really need the Kiriko as much because there's really no CC that Suzu needs to cleanse. I mean, the cleanse is useful, but there's nothing that's really meta right now that you need this cleanse for specifically, so you don't have to run the Kiriko. Why isn't A the weakest region in esports? It's kind of like, man, that would be like an interesting like theory craft thing. We could talk about that. Remind me after this map is over, and I could maybe give you my guesses. I don't think anybody knows for sure, but like I have some guesses. Has it been tested if Echo applies the DPS passive while copying it? She does not. Yes, it's been tested. KarQ tested it. She does not.
When we saw it unleashing, it was struggling a little bit to be able to get past some of the coordinated dive here of Nuage, but that was also
Oof. Oof. I'm going. I don't know who I'm going for here. I like Doge, and I like some of the Doge players. But I'm definitely more familiar with the Team Peps players. I've worked with Cronus before. FD God's a nice guy. Ben Best, nice guy as well. I think I've worked with Hybrid before. I really like Hybrid. I like Naga as well. But man, you know, like the anti-Malga build is respectable to say the least. You see, they're going for Echo, and as long as she saves flight, it's okay. And that was cardiac though, so that's not a good cooldown trade there.
Here we go, Esperanza. We're in stage 2 of Esperanza in this boss fight. Okay, I mean, you get on.
Hybrid is very punishable there. Yeah, I was gonna say he threw his Transcator up, but his team had already backed out. Pulse on Ben Best, not the best. Cardiac was there, so it's not a good trade. Pulse on Malga isn't terrible if he doesn't have cardiac. Especially in the current meta, because there's not infinite healing resources for Malga right now, so like bursting Malga down is legitimately decent. Why not just play Winston into Doom? Because Malga's really good into Doom, and Malga's really strong. The current meta is like more around like the Lucio rush comps, and so Winston's not as good with those. What's on my game plan here? Basically, either setting up angles to punish Echo or Kiriko on dives, or like holding off angles and just poking. Because like you can Sombra 76 this fairly easily, as long as you avoid Echo. Like you can get a lot of poke value. You'll see this a lot of times when Sombra's played in pro meta. She's very rarely played into like these pokey dive comps where you need the stage and backline. So sometimes she's kind of like more conservative off angles. Like she's like not front lining, but like off angling, soft off angle kind of a thing. Oh, that is not a good cooldown trade for Peps. Or the cooldown trade, I say. Ult trade. It's really not that bad for New Age there. That wasn't too bad for New Age. That's their two best ultimates, really. I guess Beat's still good, but yeah. Yeah, Sombra's just hold off angle. And the only time you really like go super deep with stealth is if you're trying to like set up a gank assassination on Echo, who so far, from what I've seen, Dip has done a fairly good job of anticipating that and just quickly flying it. Good sticks. The force copy on Sombra's kind of unfortunately timed. That's really, really poorly timed. Like that was way too early. Beat needs to be used. They don't hack the... Oh, they tried to hack the beat on Natsuki. They didn't quite get it. They need to build EMP here. They're not going to get it. Yeah, they don't even get it. That's actually tragic. They got hybrid just a little bit there, so I guess they'll still win it. But this is way messier than it had any right to be. I mean, this is... I wouldn't say losable, but they could get traded more. Okay, no, they're good. Yeah, that was a mess. That early copy feels really bad there from Dip. Oh, Dip dies again to FD God. Wow, this is like... Bro, FD God, what is that skin, bro? Of all the skins to use, is this purposefully picking the ugliest one? What's up, Gabe? Yeah, you don't really stage deep backline here. It's more about like, it's just like when is Sombra played in pro meta, it's exclusively in like these brawl dive hybrids where like there's not as much motivation to go deep. Interesting map. Messy fight. We got a neutral essentially here, at least for a little while, so this will be fun to watch. Where's Dip? Yes, he dips on high ground here. Out of a conservative angle here from Buddy. I was going to say, there we go. Without any ultimates, he doesn't need to play that far back. You can see there, like the echo angle there just basically forces Malga out. So you can look at that. He already almost has copy again. Really, it's going to be EMP versus Kitsune here. Or EMP versus copy, I think, is going to be the big race. I think EMP is just so powerful, though. I think Peps generally is going to win this unless something happens. That's a huge sticky for recall there. That's really, really big. They can use Kitsune here. They can use Kitsune here. They can use Kitsune here. Kitsune. Gucci gang. Why? Use Kitsune! I don't know what the plan was there. They had the positioning for it. Use the Kitsune early to get the advantage so that the EMP follow-up is a lot harder. Like, it's too late now, I think. Cole has responded with, the EMP is there. EMP is fat. If they don't get a kill now, this fight's lost for New Age. Oh, there's the kill. Still winnable. This is a mess. I definitely spoke too soon, Joss. That had no business. I'm surprised that was really messy start there from New Age. Why is Malga so strong right now? The cardiac change was pretty big with the overhealth. And then the stomp change was also really big. It's not something that you're going to be using a lot, but when you do use it, it actually has like a lot of impact right now. You guys have probably seen some of the plays. I haven't been watching a lot of OWCS right now, but like the amount of times where like the stomp is like setting up these huge combos is like, it's actually crazy right now. They stop before the cap? No, they don't get the cap, yeah. Doge gets his ult force though. So they've actually flipped the map. So this is kind of, New Age is going to have to rotate to the high ground here and to take a fight there. It's going to be beat for beat, but Ben Best is going to have his ultimate, and they don't really have anything for Ben Best's ultimate here. Ooh, that's a nasty hack on Doge. Oh, beat for beat. They bailed Dip out. Dip needs to get out of dodge. Dip might still die. Dip does die. Yeah, it's just awkward positioning there from both Doge and Dip. Like, really mostly Doge there. Like, I think he overextends just a little bit, and that kind of snowballs him in the wrong direction. That was a... Like, it's like neutral setup fight positioning mistakes for New Age that then force him into a bad old economy situation. The cage fight is broken. Nice little clip from from Sharp. What is the... Why? Hybrid?
Again.
That one felt not earned at all. That did not feel like that was necessary whatsoever. I don't get that EMP. It may not matter, but that was very questionable.
And they could though.
I mean, they're in an okay position here. I think Cole for copy, Pulse for Pulse is like not the worst thing to have in the world, considering you have like a really good copy target in the Sombra or the Tracer. So should be okay. Pulse is used, doesn't do anything. Dip gets EMP very soon. Goodness gracious. Oh, Sharp gets punished. Was that a manual hack? Or I'm not. Hi! Sharp just gets smoked. I'm telling you, man. This comp, a lot of these things, like people look at these comps like they're like brainless brawl comps or like team play is all you need. But that fight was literally just lost because Sharp got hacked. I'm like fairly certain, or either hacked or just got diffed by Naga. So it's like these. It's actually like it's a little boring to watch because you know Malga. But that was a Mechanics 1 fight right there. That was a Mechanics 1 fight off screen. Like whatever happened in that Tracer duel carried that fight right there. So it's like it's not like all like brainless whatever. No, I didn't see it for Junior. So like that fight was literally lost just from Tracer stuff. Yeah, the stomp increased damage a big. Yeah, absolutely. Which I think is good. I talked a lot about the group up podcast yesterday about like what I think about the Malga thing, but yeah, I'm expecting a hot fix from Malga, frankly. I'm not like guaranteeing I'm a hot fix, but I feel like there's probably going to be one. Worst design hero? No, I think worst design hero in terms of his meta, but I would say worst balance / design combo besides. No, Brig is worse. I don't know. It's tough to say. It's really hard to say. Worst design / balance hero in recent memory, sure. But I actually think that he has a lot more good things to going for his design than like a Moira. But he's just so much more broken. You guys were talking to me about like NA culture. Like, why do I think that like NA is like the weakest region? I think this is like, I think it's a cultural thing that's kind of like snowballed for a long, and this is all like kind of like just conjecture. I really don't know for sure. I think it's like a cultural thing that's been starting since like 2020. So maybe even earlier, 2019. So NA, like essentially like there was a point in time in NA contenders in like 2020 where like NA contenders was like super stacked, like had a lot of like good teams, had a lot of good players. I think what ended up happening is that NA got a lot of their infrastructure like kind of went down the toilet. Like there hasn't been like a really good coaching scene or like support management scene in NA in like a long time. Like a long time. Like Europe and Korea has had a better coaching management, like whatever scene, at least from what I know. And I'm talking about like tier 2 here. I have no idea what tier 3, tier 4. But like has had like a much better like coaching and like leadership scene than the NA culture. And the problem is the NA culture needs it badly. Like NA personality is like very individualistic, right? And very like selfish and very like egotistical and like very confidence related. But you need leadership to do that. European players in generally are just smarter. They're like a lot smarter and they're a lot more like self-driven than NA players. NA players need better leadership. And so what ended up happening is that there was like a lot of players that like honestly just straight up retired. Like 2020 was like a really stacked year and then a lot of people just straight up retired in NA. There wasn't really a strong infrastructure of good coaches that were in the NA scene. Like honestly, you can name on thumbs the number of decent coaches that were still in NA. There weren't any. I mean, I don't even know. Like, you'd have to like give me a list of people that like I think that were like they're and a lot of them are like overrated. Like, there just were no good coaches in NA. And then what also happened is that the whole NA culture really drove development into like kind of an awkward position where like NA players weren't like necessarily consistent at like driving themselves to improve and understand the meta and macro better. And so a lot of them plateaued off of the whole, like, we need to just lean into confidence and just like play to our strengths kind of a thing. Like a good example, I think, is like Team Odyssey, right? But look at that team that was like really, really dominant for the region for a long time, but really never developed. They like played the same heroes. They played the same comps. They never like developed their strengths. They never developed their macro understanding. And then basically they show up and they make no developments over years. And then they show up in OWL and they just get their faces kicked in. Well, it's not just they can't play dive. They're also just not as dynamic at like understanding the compositions and matchups as well. Like you have to have like, it's not just your understanding. You also have the mentality and willingness to learn and know new things. And I think a lot of NA players just don't have like this culture of like, okay, we can't, like learning new matchups. Like EU players that I've worked with are way more receptive at either learning dive, right? Or learning how to adjust and like learning the macro of how to play around that. NA players just didn't have that. Like there just isn't that level of motivation. And I also think NA has been historically, either as a result from that or from other things, has always been way more top heavy than EU, I think. I think starting with American Tornado, like that was like, ironically, American Tornado in many ways kind of killed the American scene. I'm not blaming those players. It was a good decision. I really think it was it was a good decision for them, but it was bad for the scene. Because, honestly, thank you for the sub. I think what ended up happening is that you just have all of the best players in the region basically put a monopoly, and there just isn't really a lot of motivation to compete for the top position anymore. It's like the New York Yankees signing like all the good talent, and then there's no like level of competition. And like when you kill competition, you kill development. Like it was a long time. It was really just American Tornado and Odyssey. And like Odyssey at one point like ended up being able to compete with them. But like that was it. Like there weren't that many other good players. There weren't any other good coaches. Nobody's really developing, and it just stagnated. And so then American Tornado like leaves, and then there's nobody left. Like there's nobody left. Like seriously, think about that. Like think about, you can count on one hand, if even that, the number of players that are not American Tornado correlated that have developed in NA contenders. Like Vega, Rocket's been okay for a while. Like seriously, what other players are we forgetting here? No one from Odyssey panned out at all. Chopper, but Chopper's not all level. Like Chopper's fine, but that's just recency bias. Like he's a fine player, but he's not like, we're not talking about like top tier developing talent. It's like Vega, and that's it. RuPaul is maybe one. RuPaul and Landon, but Landon was like the most EU player I've ever worked with. That's the irony. Like Landon was like the most like EU player I've ever worked with, like the most like very, very hard on himself, very smart, always willing to learn, not very NA in the traditional sense at all, Landon. No, Kaluja's total American Tornado. So like, I think the scene just became inbred, to be honest with you. I think it had its issues with its player personalities. It definitely had some issues with its leadership, like a real lack of leaders in the community, which I don't even blame the leaders. There's just no motivation to coach in NA contenders, right? Because the player attitudes, like you have to deal with the player attitudes, and also contenders was dead for like such a long time. But yeah, Seeker is a fair one. I think Seeker and Vega, like the only two things that have good things that have come out of NA, like development and years. But really, just nothing has changed. Nothing has really developed here. Like Europe has just been a lot more competitive, right? Like Europe has been way more competitive and way healthier scene for a long time. It's still unhealthy because it's contenders, like it was a joke. But like there's been so many players that have developed in Europe just because the level of competition was higher. And the level of leadership was higher. And I also blame, like I said, I'm not to put all the blame on attitude, but like Europeans are just harder workers. Just harder workers. I'll let's put it this way: they're like much more intelligent. I don't want to. That's a kind of a broad statement. So I'll just say they're generally smarter when it comes to like understanding the game and studying the game. So sorry, we're like totally like talking over this here, but it was a really good question. It's a really good question.
Surely secured. Shot does find one.
Reaper here, just because I've been seeing some of this Reaper Sombra. I just think it's like the less flank heavy maps. You just run Reaper Sombra. This reminds me of like the 2020 Reaper Sombra, like Winston Diva stuff, like the Talon dive stuff we used to talk about.
God, those voice lines are kind of
it's when the off angles are not as important as winning the fight on main, and like you can do a pretty good job of that. I actually don't know if the Reaper might be fine, but I actually think that like versus what New Age is running, the Tracer's probably just better. I think the Reaper's like one of those, like it's kind of like the old dive stuff, like where the Reaper's really good in the mirror, but I don't think the Reaper's that good outside of the mirror. Yeah. No, there's the punish on dip that we talked about. No, I think the NA style has merit when it's led properly. Like the amount of confidence and like the intangible leadership and like the NA hive mind stuff is like I joke about, but there is a lot of value and merit to it. But it has to be controlled and contained. The individuality has to be like led in the right direction. You know. The Reaper even shooting here, just honestly just mark, like you're not even necessarily, you're just kind of marking the Doom, marking the Tracer, marking the Echo. Like you're just kind of like tickling people, you know, and being self-sufficient. I like I said, I do agree the Tracer would be much better at doing that exact same thing. Is New Age Korean team? No. Probably scrim Reaper more on this map. That's probably true. This is arguably the worst comp I've ever seen in Overwatch. Maybe. At least New Sombra is better. I think New Sombra is like a little bit more enjoyable to watch because there's a lot more risk involved with some of the plays that she goes for. So this would be really bad for long term, but this isn't terrible for like one day. I hate Moira. I think the big problem here is the combo of I mean that's kind of what you're saying, but yeah, it's the combination of things. Oh, we missed the virus. That's unfortunate. It's like 10% old charge. I will answer that question in a second, Duck. Nice, faded the EMP. I just feels like this comp has such strong old economy. Like you really have to just like New Age has to win neutrals heavily. Like they have to find a way to like get their Echo on an offing, like a dip taps out, and just like consistently like they need to be harassing FD God. They need to be melting Ben Best. But if they don't do that, like they just. The problem is that like Hive Mind wins, you know? Hive Mind wins.
Because like even though the Echo can work on some of these more open points, we are heading back over to an enclosed space. We were already in Ducks, and now we're going over to a Refinery, which plays a very similar.
Remind me, Duck game. Yeah, they gave up and went Summer, yeah.
So vulnerable when you look at just how little.
Where it hasn't been nerfed yet? I agree with you. I was surprised that the right click wasn't nerfed a little bit. I would have expected like a 5% or 10% nerf or something like that. I'm with you on that one. I think that's because the other support buffs are coming out, but like, ooh, nice, Sharp. Do you guys remember Sharp? Do you guys even remember where Sharp was from? I think he was with Atlanta, right? Way back in the day. I think he was actually a fairly decent player. Maybe not like top owl level, but he was definitely like one of the better NA DPS players at the time. Mail your business email, or is that fine? No, you can. Sure, go for it, Glep. I don't mind. Remind me business email in a second. I got a really funny email. Nice. I just feel like the old game here is really weak. So like, this is the problem with New Age's comp is like, it has potential, like there's theory behind it, but I think it requires a higher level execution. And so you need smarter and better players, and you have worse old economy. Whereas Team Pep's heroes are like just frankly stronger and easier to play. Yeah, of course, mate. The same Sharp? Yeah, it's the same Sharp. As far as I'm pretty sure it's the same Sharp, right, chat? Yeah, sorry, I say NA's NA because he was on the Atlanta team. I'm sorry, anybody associated with Atlanta is automatically American. FD God, nice dodge, dude. That was actually insane. Did you guys see that? He dodged behind the pillar before he even came out of stealth. He like smelled it. Oh, buddy. Nice. That was two sick EMP counters in a row. Buddy just jukes that one too. Up and coming Lucio player? Lucio's the maybe Orb will pop off. Was he when they were swapping between 4 DPS? I think it was like Inlayer and Sharp. Was it? I don't remember who else was on that team. Was it Edison? I don't remember. I wasn't. That was when I was like initially getting into contenders coaching, and I like never watched Owl because I was like so slammed with my own team stuff. Urster, yeah, Urster.
They gotta get this post bomb to count here.
Peps
And
just
that's
need this
very
one fight.
close. They've got Cage. They've got Cage Cole. Even
All right, New Age. Make it a match, buddies. They got it. That's a big EMP. That's a big EMP. That's a 4-man EMP. Wow.
Team Peps
Now they just need to kill the Reaper, and that's it.
in sport.
Nice. That was good. That was such a cheap fight win, too, right? 1-0. I'll take that. Saucy. Oh, yeah, Saucy. Ooh, Saucy was an
That is a make-up EMP.
odd one.
there you go. That's the.
What's up, mate? Doing fine. Cheers.
Now we're heading back over.
You backed up the perfect amount while culling to avoid... Oh, that's cool. I like Cronus. Cronus has been a good guy. I think Cronus at times has been almost like bottom owl level at points sometimes. I think he's had times when he's really, really been good. I think...
We're gonna see the echo. I think like Dip has been doing a lot of good work here on the.
But he was more historically on main support.
Come back through, but here's the Naga Tracer. Actually, no more Reaper.
Cardiac Forest, hard dive. There's the cold. Do they have a disengaged route? I don't know if they do. Natsuke needs to live. Buddy can't live. Yeah. Oh, they go. Oh! Cage fight wasted.
All good. Not a problem. Does
Still winnable, guys. Still winnable. Tracer's down. Tracer being down is huge. Like that, if you could remove anybody besides Moira, I think you would honestly get rid of Tracer. Maybe even more than Malga. And like they lose so much damage and they have no off-angle control. It just lets Sharp do whatever he wants. I think like if you were to remove anybody, Moira, Tracer, I think priority.
Really nice first.
Choose goofy names like Booger Fart 69.
To convert that into success on that previous flashpoint and
I mean, they technically can. They just don't know if they can keep them.
position. It's
Very good tip for Tracer, please. Learning her needs some help.
and find a
Whenever you're timing your engages, always try to check where your team is positioned, so that making sure that they can capitalize off of your pressure. So just like timing your pressure with your team.
hybrid is
Oh, that's not a good EMP. That's not a good EMP. Oh, Buddy doesn't. Did Buddy get hit? Buddy must have gotten hit. That sucks.
an instant win. Oh, nice little virus kill there.
True story. I coached Hybrid Sombra. I say that after I make fun of his EMP. Long time ago. There's a period of time when we were trialing Sparker, Blase, and Hybrid's Sombra. We were trying to find out which one would make more sense. And Hybrid was really, really good at communicating with Sombra. Hybrid's a great communicator. Hybrid's maybe one of the most chatty hit scans I've ever seen.
What's the spawn door challenge? Get a 5k? Not quite. All good. Naga. Wow. I didn't think they'd chase that much, but hey, if you got the confidence, chase them all the way to
Will the All-Star Tracer skin ever come back? I have no idea.
what? 20%? So
Brian Wiener had to change his name? Yeah.
No, it was great. Like you forced out the Suzu.
You're very welcome.
Go hit him with a pulse bomb. Really beautiful there.
Yeah.
Like that buys so much time here for Team Peps to try to close this.
Yeah, that's a rough one for New Age. You would have loved to have made that one at least a little bit harder because now you're just kind of an uphill. Oh, there it is. There's the Tracer down. That's the guy we want. That's the guy we want. The Fade's already forced. They could kill Cronus here.
yeah, Bembes can handle himself. It's just
Oh, no. Natsuke. Cronus might die? No, that's unfortunate.
in the overwhelming
That's unfortunate. Do they get Cap? If they get Cap, that's big. Cap is big because it allows you to have a recontest here.
hybrid. Short work of the rest of the team. A little bit of extra.
Tracer needs to live, though. Sharp cannot die here.
That's about it. As the flip comes back quite rapidly.
Oh, that's going to be ugly, dude. That sucks.
It's one more fight.
Even more chatty than Questron? Questron's not a hit scan player.
Really nice roll.
Questron just plays Sombra.
But it comes down to this one. Team Peps
What's the minimum amount of rank you recommend? What's your goal?
into this next fight, and should be an easy trigger to pull.
Yeah, I don't know if New Age can draw this one out. If they can, they could win this one, but I don't know if they can.
Isolated, shivering cold in the back.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. That was a good game.
Might just be it. An easy team wipe. Those
It was a good game.
basically sat there and got hacked. There's the flip from Team Peps. They're going to take the map and the series.
My aim is not that good with Tracer, which I'm improving on, but I'm always going for enemy backline. Good. It doesn't always have to be backline. It could also be their DPS. I would just say put yourself on the outside of the fight, like an off angle, and shoot what you can see. You know? Don't always have to wrap all the way around behind. You could just shoot from an off angle here.
Treat there, Jaws. Like after
35 stream streak. What the frick, dude? Touch some grass. You are a walking billboard that everybody over across the Atlantic Ocean is absolutely like total, just a walking train wreck of health. You should be ashamed of yourself. Yeah, you're welcome, man. You're welcome. Why? Okay, so I wanted to show you guys my email here. I got an email here. Let me screenshot. I don't know where they get my emails from this, but here, this is the email I got here. Transform your RV park experience with ultra-fast Wi-Fi. Why am I getting an email about my RV park experience? Like, how do they even find, like, why? I don't even understand. Amari Pepper cameo? All right, give me a sec. Hey, that was a bizarre one. Watch her ears, see if she reacts. Amari. Hey. She'll catch her claw. Do you guys see that claw? Like her paw right there? She catches her paw on the curtain and she'll just like stretches her arm out. It's like a stretch thing. I don't even know what she does. She just like leaves it there. Just someone signed you up? Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. What you do not know, yet you do not know, maybe you should try it. That's the sentence of all time. Okay, true story. Y'all ready for this one? I checked like I'd never checked this like ever. And I checked my my notifications in my YouTube of like, what was it? Frick. It was like mentions or something. Yeah, it was mentions. And I was like, what? Dude. So this guy, this like small YouTuber rapper guy just made a freaking Overwatch rap. Check this out, y'all. Wait.
Overwatch.
Oh, okay. I was just saying to go off.
Yo, Jimmy No Fro, 1000 Star, Overwatch 2, The Experience.
Don't mind me, I'm gonna be eating carrots.
It's just a game at the end of the day, so have fun and stay blessed. I got you.
Hey, Jimmy.
My objective to stay on point with the flow in the game, keep my aim on point. Watching guides just so I can keep my mains on point. I aim to maintain, entertain more points. Appreciating the wins with the losses, I point out the flaws. Look at your replays for the cause. The effects are amplifying, now it's time for trying new things, more range to your iron sightings. DPS 76 eliminations when I soldier up on the battlefield to rule your nation. Every blast is auto rocket, a classic hit to your face. Every heal is Kiriko, let it flow to your mental state. Every hack is Sombra, the data I am obtaining is helping me in my rankings. Even when I'm steady tanking with the diva status, banking up your shots with the matrix. Lean back, grab a snack, now you're vibing with the greatest. Overwatch 2, man, the grind don't stop. Pure patience when you're reaching the top. I'm here for a long time. My experience is growing. Learning while I'm earning respect is what I'm showing. To me and my team, we gotta do pure devotion. We show it with our top tier plays, the daily motions. The makings of a man when playing the FPS. Forever pushing the payload to truly be the best.
Squad in the building, down the star, made the killing. Scope is my viewpoint, headshot, always on point. Headshot, headshot. Why you keep poking out another headshot? You gonna learn something today. I'ma teach a way, are you gonna get this fade? I'ma make a way, I'ma make a way. Gotta learn how to aim, or you better stay away. When you go autopilot, then you died on your first pilot. Cause you don't, another headshot you go. Watch a replay so you know how to shoot. Think, plan, plot. Ooh, now you got a headshot. Remember how this feels. Think before you deal. Forget about no stats. We ain't dumb like these rats. But ultimate is ready. Stay Pomsky steady. Play up the game. SpongeBob, I'm ready.
Overwatch 2, man, the grind don't stop. Pure patience when you're reaching the top. I'm here for a long time. My experience is growing. Learning while I'm earning respect is what I'm showing. To me and my team, we gotta do pure devotion. We show it with our top tier plays, the daily motions, the makings.
Wait, hang on, chat. It's about to really get real.
Pushing the payload to truly be the best. Overwatch 2, man, the grind don't stop. Pure patience when you're reaching the top. I'm here for a long time. My experience is growing. Learning while I'm earning respect is what I'm showing. To me and my team, we gotta do pure devotion. We show it with our top tier plays, the daily motions, the makings of a man when playing the FPS. Forever pushing the payload to truly be the best.
That's kind of where I realized something. You can't coach people to Grandmaster. Most of you guys are
wanted the guys!
And sometimes coaching just isn't going to do it. See, what takes it to hit Grandmaster?
It's got the reverb, bro.
the right mentality, and honestly something that's almost impossible to coach, certainly on a one-time or even weekly basis. That's the motivation to play, and that's the motivation to actually enjoy what you're doing.
I'm like one of those West Coast end of the song,
like I do, because
philosophical
when I get
things.
in a session with people, I'm not going to sit here and jump immediately into your gameplay and tell you, oh, these are all the mistakes that you need to fix. Well, how do you fix this mistake?
Michael Jordan,
you have to be focused.
Barack
you have
Obama,
to be able to remind yourself and stay disciplined with
Martin
what you're
Luther
doing.
King,
you have to put time in.
and
to
me
really
are your
want to
choice of
improve,
end of.
the only way
I'm
to
up
want
there,
to
guys.
improve is to really either have some sort of intrinsic or internal or
We're
external
making it up,
motivation.
boys.
And if
We're
you
doing
don't
it,
have
guys.
that, you're not going to be able to force yourself to do it.
We got it, boys. It was so funny, dude. That was a banger. I actually thought the beat was like really quite good. Some of the bars are pretty solid, man. But yeah, he pinged me in. I was like, yo, that's crazy, man. It's really funny. So if you guys gotta check it out, give it a like. Oh my gosh. It was like the one time I actually checked my mentions was like, what are the odds? Like, it was literally like today. It was wild. Making out the choke point with this one, man. Yeah, that was something else, man. That was crazy. Oh. Drop the link of the video in chat. Oh yeah. Let's do that. Here I am.
YouTube.
It's gonna be a lot easier.
Problem. Most of our
Yeah. So now you know what you to listen to instead of the main menu music from Cowboy Bebop, which is like driving me up the wall, dude. It's been hilarious. It's been like the freaking apocalypse. I was joking about it with all my students. It's like, bro, Twitter, Discord notification, people are freaking out because the Cowboy Bebop thing, because everyone's getting demonetized. Everyone's getting demonetized. Like, straight up, when I was exporting the thing to Spilo 2, it played the mini music for like 5 seconds, and it freaking just demonetized the entire video. Like, it doesn't even like, oh, it's a split. It just says no. It's crazy. So you have to like mute it and stuff, but like all these Twitch streamers are getting scammed. Everyone's like freaking out. It's really, really funny. So it's like the biggest collab, and it's just like this biggest atomic bomb on the content community. But anyway. Oh my gosh. It was hilarious. Okay, what do we got here? Why is it all blurry? Oh, eliminated. Okay. That's kind of cool. Oh yeah, dev balance plan. Why do they think every hero needs to be viable at higher ranks? I don't think they think every hero needs to be viable. Like I have Alec Dawson in person told me that he doesn't think that like the quote unquote low skill heroes deserve to have as high win rates and higher ranks. But then he also immediately said, he's like, yes, but we do think that some measure of like mixing up the meta is good. So they will do that on purpose. So yeah. I would argue that I think the percentage of like, I talked about this on the Group Up podcast yesterday. I think not the problem with that mindset, but like one of the things you need to be careful of with that is that easier heroes that tend to dominate the meta faster, because even though they're not like high skill, and, you know, it's really easy to exploit a Malga buff. It's not so easy to exploit a Winston buff. Do you kind of see what I'm saying? So it's like even in higher ranks, so like stuff like the Malga buff will have like honestly even more of an effect than you guys might think. So I don't know. Like I think I understand like the logic there, and I don't even necessarily disagree, but it's just like you just have to be really careful. So that's their philosophy. Is like they want high school characters to have higher win rates and higher ranks, but they like meta variety, and so they will occasionally do like a patch like this. The reason why I wasn't as mad about the patch is because it was the right buffs to Malga. If you were going to buff Malga, you'd want it to be like this. It's just, I like I said on the stream with, like, I say a lot more on the Group Up podcast. You just need to watch that instead. But basically the idea is like, I just don't think that like Malga's in a position yet to where he should be buffed yet. I think that they should have done that and then nerf something else, even if it keeps him bad, and then keep doing that maybe a couple more times. And then maybe we're at a point where Malga can be allowed to be like decent. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think one of the conversations that I want to have, if I ever get the opportunity to have more talks with the devs in the future, would be like talking more about like where are their win rate stats and what are the win rate stats, and maybe coming with some ideas of like why win rate may not be good. And I don't know, just kind of like having more like of a broader idea. But yeah, I agree. But I don't really know exactly what the process is. You know what I'm saying? Why is Dive always nerfed way faster than other comps like Orisa Ram? Yeah, see that's where I don't disagree. I do get that impression as well. They do seem way more responsive to nerf characters like Tracer, Zenyatta, and Lucio, and Winston, and so on, or Diva or whatever. Like it feels like those characters are not allowed to be in the meta for very long. Genji too, right? Like stuff like that. They seem, at least if honestly, like maybe I'm not, but it does feel like that. Maybe there's some psychology at play there. It feels like those characters tend to get shoved out faster. I agree, Gabe. I feel like we're getting there, though. Like, I feel like there is a clearer, better philosophy than that we've had in the past. I do agree that we need like something set in stone at some point, but like, I don't know. Like, I'm not even a shill here, and I'm telling you guys that like having conversations with these guys was like fairly encouraging. It just doesn't mean that there's not going to be like some really ugly moments along the way, Because like, I mean, I don't know. Nothing. It takes trial and error. Like, all things considering, Tracer's still really good. Lucio is still good. You know what I'm saying? Winston is still, besides the Malga thing, like Winston's been like the best that he's been in a long time. So like, meta pro play. Oh, I mean, yeah. I mean, it's the same thing I said earlier. It's just like early buffs to like characters like Malga and Moira are just going to get exploited earlier because they're just easier to figure out. Like the Malga meta might not even be the best right now. This is just immediate patch notes, knee-jerk reaction, and these players have not had time to experiment with other comps. And they've not had time to learn other comps. So it's going to be whenever like fresh patch stuff, it's just going to be either comfort or what's easy. They don't want to give tanks resistance to debuffs is crazy. I mean, that's the impression that I got. There was some pushback there. I know you guys heard me talk about that already, but I'm hoping that that's something that we can continue to push back on. We talked about it yesterday in the group up podcast as well. And so I'm hoping that they change their stance on that. You're going to start copying League of Legends philosophy? I don't know anything about League of Legends, y'all. I'm not going to lie. I tend to bring more of my like concepts from like stuff outside of video games and or board games. I was really good. I was very much into the balance of like an MMO, and that definitely affects some of my opinions of things. Because a lot of the problems that I had with the MMO, because it was really badly balanced, was like similar stuff to this here. And it's actually what killed the MMO. Cooperate. And I think the more, I will say this though, if you guys want the juice, I was talking with, I think Frito from Your Overwatch. I talked with him a little bit. I talked with him pretty decent amount actually in California. And dude, some of the stuff was, some of the stuff that Frito was telling me about, like the old team with like Jeff Goodman and Jeff Kaplan and like their old philosophy stuff, actually like, I'm kind of being facetious here, but like disturbing. Like it was bad. Like really creative, cool human beings, but really bad at balance. And like some of their philosophies when it came to stuff was like super egotistical, super archaic, not good. So I feel like there's a lot of like the old, I'm hoping that a lot of the stuff that we see here is like the old guard. SVB Pugs? Oh, nice. Are there any of the games you're interested in besides Overwatch right now? Right now, not really. I played a couple of FromSoft games which I really liked. My brother-in-law got them for me for Christmas a year and a half ago, which I really liked, or Christmas before last. Yeah, I like Aaron a lot. I like Aaron a lot. I think Jeff Kaplan was really great for starting Overwatch and was a great face for the game. I'm just saying that, like, in general, the stuff that I've heard about, like, his balance philosophy in general was like, oh no, that beat was kind of goofy. Did I play Elden Ring? Yeah, I finished Elden Ring. Got all the endings and all that crap. Completionist, kind of, sort of. It was good. I liked it. What's the minimum rank to days week to go from high plat to masters, low gym, and general? I would say aim for like start with 2 hours a day with a short warm up. Would be a good way to start. What were some of the things they valued in balance back then? A lot of it was just like this, like they really valued like the hero fantasy idea of that, like you have these characters, like they were very like full balls to the wall, like hero
fantasy kind of design, like where you're playing Brig and you just shut it all down. Like you are, I think they lacked a lot of like, they didn't really understand or prioritize dynamics at all. I forget some of the stuff that Frida was saying. I wish I had taken notes, but there was like a lot of stuff, like there was like a lot of like RPG elements in their like in their design philosophy, and it led to some interesting balance like decisions. No, I've not played Baldur's Gate. Yeah, RPG devs. Yeah, there's like a sense of, I think everyone has a bias that they bring to the table. You know, I just think certain biases work better than others. You know, Hollow Knight. All right. I just don't have a lot of time to play video games. Is the problem. I generally do a lot of like content. I answer messages like constantly. That's like not constantly, but I do it. It's a legitimate time sink that I put time into around 6 or 7 hours a week, and then, you know, coaching and then content and stuff. And generally, like when I'm done with that, like I don't want to, like when I'm done streaming, I'm generally done with the computer. Like I don't want to play more Overwatch. I want to generally do board games or exercise or read something. I read a lot of books, so I don't know. Generally, when I do like the Farah stuff, like I did recently, it's usually because I have like more time available that I don't have to coach or do other content stuff as much. Was it sort of like give the power to the players as much as you can, describing how it felt to play against? Yeah, I think sort of like that. I wish I could have written more stuff down. It was more along the general impression of the stuff that Frida was saying was a little bit off. So just kind of take that as like a vague statement. What board games do I play? A lot of board games. Enjoy Spirit Island. I enjoy Dominion. I enjoy War of the Ring. I enjoy Coup. I just got Brass Birmingham. I haven't really played it yet. Just was kind of learning the rules. Clank is kind of good, cheesy fun. I played Wingspan. That wasn't too bad. What else? I like card games. I don't play them a lot, but I do enjoy them. I'm pretty good at them when we do play. Frick. What is another one? I feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh, played Arkham Horror, which is pretty fun, the card game. What's my current non-Overwatch interest? I'm very broad. I don't really have any one current. I do competitive flag football, do a lot of tournament stuff. I do a lot of speed exercise. I exercise a lot of speed and strength stuff specifically. I do read a lot. I read almost 2 books a week. Fiction, nonfiction, fantasy, children's books, use a lot of coaching stuff, a lot of leadership stuff. I mean, guys, dude, actually, you know what? Here's what we should talk about. I should show you guys the books I got. I got some crazy books. I use thrift books a lot. Yeah, I'm very lucky with board games because me and Pepper just play a lot of board games. So we just do a lot of, we'd play board games a lot with together. So that's nice. I'll show you guys what books I got. Give me a second. Is Overwatch going to die someday? What then? That's a great question. I have no freaking idea. I've put some thought into it, and I definitely think that I have some ideas here and there, but like, I think for me, it's just like, I'm not always sure what I'm going to do next. So I just make sure that like, whatever I'm doing like, I'm learning like new skills along the way and not just like, you know, like I need to be like, okay, I do this whole content thing. Like, what am I learning? Like, what are like the hard or soft skills that I'm like learning from this whole job, you know, so that like I'm better prepared for whatever's next. Let me show you guys what I got. Hang on. Hang tight. I'm going to show you the full stack. Getting a whole 9 yards. Ah! Okay, that almost was bad. That was almost a cataclysm. Was my second most played hero? I think Ana or Genji. Not sure, one or the other. Okay, so books here. Let's just go down the list while we're waiting here. Some of these are recommended. Some of them are just research I've done. I went to Barnes and Noble last week when Baggins was over. Baggins is a friend of mine. He's been a Discord moderator for me for 6 years. He actually stayed with me a week last week. We hung out, which is why I wasn't streaming. And we went through Barnes and Noble and like we bought some books, and then also I made like a 25 book list. We were there for it was like 2.5 hours. And I was like, okay, that book looks interesting. Read about it, look it up, make a note of it. And then I went and thrift books and bought all the ones that we didn't buy while we were there. I have The Inner Game of Tennis. I've already read it. These are books I haven't read yet that I have on my list to read. Yeah. I think Inner Game of Tennis is good. Star Wars Thrawn. That was a recommendation from Baggins. I haven't read it yet. Dracula. Haven't read it yet. I read Frankenstein. Very philosophical. A little dull. The Paul Brown book. Coach. I've already read that one, actually. Whoops. Pepper wanted this one. She's heard good things about it. This was an interesting one. Exercise. Why something we never evolved to do is healthy and rewarding. Interesting. Anti-aging hacks. I'm always on the lookout for general stuff like this because you'd be surprised about how a lot of that stuff is important for competitive stuff. The happiness equation. Want nothing, do anything, have everything. Again, stuff like that I'm super interested in. This is your brain on music. Plucked. Chicken antibiotics and how big businesses change the way the world eats. Big potential. How transforming the pursuit of success raises our achievement, happiness, and well-being. The Great Cases of the Thinking Machine. It's fiction stuff. I enjoy that. I read that one at my parents' house initially. So Call of the Wild. Just finished that one not too long ago. I've read this one many times, but I read it again. War of the Worlds. I've read that one also and read it again. It was all right. A little dull at points. The midsection was a little bloated. Phantom Tollbooth. Fun classic kids book. It's fun. Coach for a Nation. The Life and Times of Newt Rockney. There was some, you guys can see this here. This is the Spilo reading thing. Anything that's not fiction, these are notes. And what I do is I go through and I find the tab, and then on my computer I have 50 documents, right, of notes from various books I've read that are with things that were worth pointing out, and I write them down, and then I either sell or get rid of the book if I didn't like it. But at least I learned something from this book. I actually think this book was really poorly written. Very, very meandering, not a lot of detail on the person it was written about, which is ironic. There's like 200-something wasted pages. But there were a lot of interesting little tidbits there that I want to go back and make note of so I don't forget. That's how I learn a lot of my coaching stuff. Chop Wood, Carry Water. Fun little philosophical book. Very fun. I liked it. Carlo Ancelotti. I forget who recommended this one to me. We should do book reviews? Maybe. Have you read Mind Gym by Gary Mack? No. You can message it to me. Jimmy Stewart, a biography. Fiction. Or not fiction, but just fun. Should be interesting. Carol Dweck, Mindset, The New Psychology of Success. And then The Stories of Ray Bradbury, fiction. So yeah. And I also have, I'm currently reading The Life and Times of Marcus Aurelius. It's like philosophy, Stoic philosophy. And then reading another Star Wars book that it's about Darth Plagueis, I think. Yeah, anyway, and then I have about another 20 books as well I haven't read. We're slowly working our way through. Enjoy reading a lot. I like it. Oh, and I have another 5 books that are going to be here in a couple days. I had like a book dump, because of the stuff that we saw. Wait, you can read? Is the Ancelotti book an autobiography? Raya, will you message me these suggestions, please? I would definitely put it on the list. Have you read the Darth Bane trilogy? No, but I actually bought it for Pepper for Christmas, and she just finished it yesterday. Funny you should bring it up. So that's on my to read list soon, yeah. She said it was really good. Maine, get a guitar stand? Oh, I do. I was just playing yesterday. I'm lucky if I can get through a book a month. What's your secret? Make time for it. Make time for it. I use reading a lot as like my bedtime routine. Like I take baths. I shower because I work out in the morning and then I'll take a bath before bed. Just because it's relaxing and also helps me to fall asleep faster. So have you read Where the Red Fern Grows? Yes, I have. Yeah, I mean, I put reading as a priority. I think reading and like physical fitness are like things that are definitely hobbies I would describe in mine, but they're like there's a tier above them in terms of hobbies, right? Where it's like they're important hobbies. You know what I'm saying? Like I try to make time for them whenever I can. You know how to bust down or no? Do I even want to ask what that means? But I think like one of the things that like has really helped me, I've been putting a priority on recently is just any spare time that I have, instead of doing Twitter, you know, checking Discord or whatever, checking my phone, just read a few pages, you know. And you find yourself like, it's not just like, oh, a healthy thing to do. You have to grit your teeth. Yeah, you need to break the habit, but unironically, it's more fun. It really is more fun. Like it's like once you break that habit, you're like, bro, why did I ever do that in the first place? Like it's so much more fun. And ultimately read what you want to. Like I like honestly, there are probably a couple of those books that I'm gonna read that I'm not really that interested in. But there's gonna be some information in there that's gonna be useful. So I'm just gonna have to grit my teeth. But most of the books I read, I try to purposely find books that are gonna be fun to read. Like, bro, you guys ever have Tintin? I have the entire Tintin in hardback. It's just freaking fun. It's a freaking stupid comic book, but it's fun, you know? What state am I from? Florida. I grew up in Florida. I don't live in Florida right now. Florida, then I moved to North Carolina when I was 13. And then when I got married and moved to New Hampshire and worked in New Hampshire in mixed martial arts for around 8 or 9 years. And then now I'm in South Carolina. Have you read Weave World by Clive Barker? No. You guys need to stop this. Message me directly on Discord with your book suggestions. If you guys, and I don't know why. No, I don't know why I'm harassing you guys. You guys are asking me the questions. If I say no, message me. Let's put it that way. Favorite OR streamer? Thank you. Of Tintin, right? They made one movie. Yeah, I think they were going to do more. I think it was like Steven Spielberg, right, chat? But then they didn't do it. You're from Florida. I'm normal. I'm not normal. Port St. Lucie, nice. Yo, cheers, Ryan. I appreciate it. But yeah, I really enjoy reading a lot. Like it wasn't like super intuitive. You do have to really make time for it. But one of the rules that I do is I bring a book with me everywhere I go. Like in my I don't even have like a wallet. I have like a little like sack pack thing, like a whatever. But I bring a book with me everywhere because I cannot tell you the number of times, even just in the last couple of months, where like, oh, I don't need a book, and then something happens or there's some downtime, and I'm just like, oh, glad I brought my book. Well, like different in a positive way, yeah. Yeah, highly recommend reading. Start with what you're really interested in. That's why I go to like Barnes and Noble, because I think like Barnes and Noble does a really good job like finding interesting books and like making them like really obvious. So you could just go through Barnes and Noble and just spend like half an hour just going up and down the aisles and look for anything that look interesting to you, and you don't even have to buy it from Barnes and Noble. Do you ever e-read or mainly physical? I only like physical personally. I've tried the e-reading thing and just I just don't enjoy it. What is my favorite paragraph? Favorite paragraph. Let me see if I can. I don't know if it's my favorite paragraph. Ooh, I've got one that comes to mind. One from Frankenstein. I actually didn't enjoy the book all that much, but Frankenstein says, listen to this one. I do not think that the pursuit of knowledge is an exception to this rule. If the study to which you apply yourself has a tendency to weaken your affections and to destroy your taste for those simple pleasures in which no alloy can possibly mix, then that study is certainly unlawful. That is not to say, not befitting the human mind. I like that. I like that line a lot, and I like the the end of Tale of Two Cities is it never fails to like. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful ending. Where is it? He goes, what is it? It is a far, far better thing that I do than I have ever done. It is a far, far better rest that I go to than I have ever known. That's a great line. Favorite healthy recipe? Ooh, you'd have to ask Pepper for that one. She's got some. She's a great cook. All right, let's get into this, y'all.
Control center to kick us off, and it will be Malga's Mirror.
Oh, yeah.
You ready for this much name every book? Yeah, Malga Mirror, Reaper May, Dynasty and Dove. Let's go. Reaper May is going to be saucy. I'm curious to see. In theory, the May. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I love May and Amalga, you know? Cardiac just really makes it easy for the Malga to force Ice Block if the May's not careful. Wall is not as useful because of how mobile Malga is. And also, your ult is a lot worse. I actually think Malga may not be... I don't know. Maybe Dynasty will prove me wrong. Dynasty is a great player. I think he's a great projectile DPS. So the question is will you be able to get... That right there. Will you be able to get Reaper value with the Ice Block? That's going to be the key thing with the wall. Walling Malga is like... shouldn't do too much. Is she in your Discord? Yeah. Add her. If you guys at Pepper and ask Spilo, she might respond. I've seen a Kovac player. Which one's the Kovac player?
I think Moira is actually probably it's a Custa take, but
Dove. Dove is a Kovac grinder. I didn't know that. I got to meet Dove on at Toronto. Really nice guy. Why doesn't it seem like they don't use cover? It depends on what you're talking about. They could probably use cover better, yeah. But I think with the comps that they're running, it's a little bit of a different situation. Yeah, that was unfortunate.
Just a widow swap here. Maybe see if you can get somebody now back over to the Reaper.
This isn't TXCXX. No one's playing Widow.
What kind of shoes do you wear? I don't want to draw feet. I don't know. Normal shoes. Not New Balance dad shoes. Not sandals. Freaking hate sandals. Yo, don't trash on Reaper, y'all. Kovacs is really good for Reaper, I think. Be able to hit those. I was watching Apply play Reaper the other day, and I was like, holy crap. Like, I forget how useful like having good aim with Reaper helps. That's true, Gabe. That's true. Oh.
That is a blizzard inside of the cage fight as well.
I don't. Yeah, this might be a bit of a dumpster. Is this the new meta for now? Yeah, probably.
You see it right here. You see how much health she can pretty much get back. Like up.
Can I give you silly little bunny slippers, please? Oh, I gotta show you guys something. You guys want to see something funny? So, I may or may not have been a little bit charismatic and a little bit silly back when I used to coach mixed martial arts. So I had a bit of a reputation. So hang on.
Right? And then combo that with what Malga brings, and that's why you kind of see these fights go on for what feels like, well, you know, that time, right? Probably not the best example, but really, the fights should last like an eternity.
It's worth pointing out that, like, May's Ice Block, it's a 25% increase in that heal per second. So you, like you mentioned, you come out of there looking a heck of a lot better.
Check this out.
Heroes that we're seeing, you know, in these compositions have recently obviously received those battles. Symmetra, Reaper, also Sombra. So we'll go into those a little bit.
That was painted for me a long time ago.
We're back underway here for Gardens.
Yeah, and it feels like with
that's me sipping out of a juice box. So yes, the bunny slippers will be fine. Do you think it's a climb on PC playing controller due to physical complications? Yes. Absolutely.
Maybe it's the Lucio that you can really burst down. Feels like everybody else really sturdy.
That's a good wall. Again, catches the Reaper. Yes, Dynasty. Yes, indeed a juicer. Dude, I am a straight up juicer, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. I just freaking love juice. Whenever I'm like coming back from like sweaty something or another, like exercise or whatever, dude, all I freaking want is some juice. Actually, you know what? We need to do a juice tier list. That's what we need to do. We need to do a juice tier list. It would help develop a game. I feel like your brain would be good ideas. Maybe, yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. Lemonade? Yeah, lemonade's good. It's a good chip shot. Wall whiffs there a little bit. Good disengage there. Reaper needs to be... It's a little bit of a disconnect there with the disengage. Death Blossom could be big here, though. If they can keep pressure and momentum, prevent from beat. Oh, they don't get the beat punish in time. He gets the... that's a pretty good trade, though, for Nide win on Jaza. Dove needs to die here. If he doesn't... Oh, he does die. Winnable. No, it's not winnable. A juice tier list. Orange juice is really good. Mango juice is good. How does sports psychology affect aspect of champion sports? It's underutilized, partially due to the demographic of who you're working with, partially because I think sports psychology is... I don't think a lot of sports psychologists do a great job of like implementing the stuff that they teach. Sometimes they get a little bit... It's like this weird mixture of like a lot of sports psychologists... Oh, that was a good wall. A lot of sports psychologists start to get a little bit too esoteric with it, and honestly, like when you're a little dry with your approach as a psychologist, and you're working with literal children, which that's essentially what these guys are, it's hit or miss. What's an underrated juice? Grapefruit juice. It's a different type of enjoyment. You know, it's not like, oh, this is so delicious and sweet. It's like really refreshing. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna put my painting away. Actually, I'm not screw it. I'm gonna leave it here. You know what I'm gonna get right now, chat? We're gonna get some freaking juice right now. Actually, you know what? I lied. You know what we're going to do instead? I'm going to drink alcohol. No, I'm just kidding. It's a ginger beer. This stuff is pretty good. They used to be better. I think they redid their like ingredients or something. It's not as good as it used to be. Used to have grapefruit trees in Florida. I think grapefruit's pretty underrated. Grapefruit's like one of those things you just got to grow into, you know what I'm saying? Hey, Varashi. I already said hey, Varashi, but why not? Opinions on apple juice? Oh, man. You weren't here for the Samoa map guide. Do you guys remember the Samoa map guide from, oh, man, it must have been a year ago almost. We had an intense and fiery debate over the Samoa map guide about apple versus orange juice. Yeah, this is extra, Varashi. This is pretty intense stuff. Okay, you know what? Let's actually do it right now. Let's make a poll right now. Apple or orange juice? Let's do it right now. I'm going to set it up. Juice. Apple, orange. I'm not going to even give you guys my opinion. I feel like this should be so obvious. Apple or orange juice? Just the juice. Poll is live, by the way. You know, I will admit I've never had fresh apple juice. No, I have had once. It was pretty good. And I will say this, orange juice has a way lower floor. Right? Way lower floor. Like there's some orange juice out there that is like really nasty. Really nasty. No, I never had an apple juice. I actually picked fresh apples, but never had apple juice, Schmitty, because I'm stupid. But I think apple juice is overrated. I think apples as a whole are overrated, I think they're fine. Good apples are like A tier fruit, like good apples, like certain types, but I think apples are a little overrated. Orange with or without pulp, either. I don't mind pulp. I like pulp, it's all right. But I know people who don't like it, so it doesn't matter really for me. But yeah, orange juice is, the floor of orange juice can be really low, but I think most good orange juice, like, I mean, even just like Simply Orange or whatever, like not even like fresh squeezed orange juice, just decent, just orange juice is better than apple juice, in my opinion. Orange juice also combos super well, whereas I feel like apple juice just like flattens everything it's put in, and it's put in a lot as well because it's cheap. It's cheap. Apple juice is. It's just like used as like a free sweetener. But yeah.
I still think we just don't know enough yet. Like, it seems like I think how you kind of put it in the pregame. You know, it was probably the first time I've ever heard you do something.
Reaper May Mirror. Surely this will work for the significantly worse team.
Pretty good, but you know, like you just don't always hear them. That's cool though.
Yeah, I mean, you got to make 65 Reddit accounts. But I mean,
They get the Reaper focus. That was good, and that's a good. That wasn't a terrible trade.
typically whatever the safest, sturdiest option is in Overwatch.
But yeah, target focus priority, maybe initial positioning priority. I don't know.
It can have like pretty consistent results, but it may
Yeah, I just like orange juice better personally.
best case scenario. We don't see the Doom come out here.
Why are you talking about? Okay, listen, guys. When you're supporting apple juice and you say it's OP and green juice mixed with kale, you're really not helping your argument.
An incentive for a team to say, okay, let's try and get rid
I legitimately think I'd rather chew on a stick of dynamite than taste kale. I got a really funny story. So I was tutoring some kid in like algebra 2 at his parents' house, and his mom was like, "Oh, you're a healthy eater, right?" Or whatever. I'm like, "Yeah." This was over 10 years ago, and she comes out, "Oh, I got something for you. I made something just for you." I was like, "Oh, that's really thoughtful." Guys, she made me kale chips. She took a vegetable, salted it, and then put it in the oven. And it was kale. And she sat there and she like and I tried them and go, guys, it was so nasty. Imagine chewing like seaweed, dried out seaweed, but like extremely salty, like way over salted. It was like literally nauseating. It wasn't just like, ugh, it was nauseating. And I'm like sitting there and she's like, and I'm like, oh yeah, my stomach is like, ah! Darkest day of my life. Darkest day of my life. I am convinced that kale has single-handedly killed the health trend for thousands of people. I think I bet there are thousands of people that are suffering with health issues because of kale. That's my conspiracy theory. Because kale is so bad that they just write off health as a whole. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's my conspiracy theory. Kale is literally killing people. That's it. It's, you know what it is? Okay, chat, I got it. Kale is a government psyop. It is a government psyop to keep us fat, malnourished, fat, malnourished, miserable, because they think that the only way to be healthy is to eat kale. Cheers, sloggers. I'm convinced. It's a McDonald's conspiracy. Imagine that. You're McDonald's and you're just freaking paying big kale to just like start cranking out kale. Like there's three evils in the world, right? Right? Corruption, big pharma, big cigarette, big kale. I'm convinced. Big kale, guys. That's it. You heard it here first. Big kale. You guys heard it here first. Genji is so good in this smear. I think Obsidian's just trolling, frankly. I think they're purposefully just trolling, honestly. Yes, big kale. It's big kale. anecdotal evidence. I hate it when European people make up English words. Just admit that you don't know how to speak English, Lexa. Don't try and make us American people feel stupid.
Blade does offer some nice damage in between the swings. The healing that's the problem for Genji. So, I mean, Dynasty really has to hope they're able to pull that blade at a time where Moira's maybe not
Ego, man.
closely. Jazz is low, blood in the water, and Dynasty wants a bit of it here. Chasing after Mayhem, the Lucio, one more slash will get the job done.
I mean, this is just them. This is don't take this one too seriously, guys. Like they're ah! Obsidian's just trolling.
Because of the damage of each of those swings respectively. Dove, though, more than happy to T-pose up on Jazza, who will be brought down by Tread. And now it's going to
Seriously, Europeans are the worst. Aren't happy with ruining their own content and have to come over and ruin ours.
point cage fight also going to be utilized here. But everyone from Obsidian gladly steps in. Garchomp still able to find Dove. That is
So anyway, we know the big Kale. Guys, what are some other worldly evils that are underappreciated? Or overappreciated, maybe. Maybe that's actually the real way of thinking about it.
To lose some of these fights and you start to get behind in terms of ult charge and, you know, all of that.
Big oil. No. That's low-hanging fruit here. Collagen. Chocolate. Oh, big chocolate. Big chocolate. That's right. They gaslight us into saying that chocolate is good for, like, libido and good for energy. And that's right. It's big chocolate. So let's talk about big chocolate. So big chocolate started with Hershey's. Dr. Lieutenant James Hershey's. And James Hershey started the whole Hershey company because he got kicked out of the cocaine business. So what do? They introduced this new sugar thing from this illegal drug, this cocoa bean in South America. And what they do is they actually take the cocoa, they take the cocaine, they combine them. And then you also have caffeine, the caffeine factor, which they knew about, obviously. And then starting from there, there's all sorts of gang wars back in the 1920s, 30s, because as soon as prohibition kicked into the NA, the next big contraband thing was chocolate. And the thing is it wasn't even banned. It was it was actually banned in the black market because what was actually sold on the market wasn't real chocolate, at least at the time. It was just the cocoa bean, right? But the real chocolate came from a cocoa and a cocaine combo. And basically what happens is this underneath war of who gets to actually sell the cocoa combo that was called Hershey's at the time. And basically, long story short, this is where like people like, Al Capone, a lot of these other guys are getting involved. And basically the whole alcohol thing was just a front. It was a front. It wasn't even actually a big thing. In fact, that's where the term milk chocolate came from. It was white chocolate, right? Right? White chocolate is pure cocaine, and milk chocolate is chocolate that has the cocaine in it, the white of the cocaine, right? But it's disguised better to actually look like real chocolate. Yeah. So, and then basically what ended up happening is that the FDA got compromised around 1964, and then the basically actual raw cocoa, no cocaine involved, got compromised. And so now basically all the chocolate that we have now because since the FDA is compromising situations now that all the chocolate is milk chocolate and therefore cocaine compromised.
The setup is good. Tread punished there. By the looks of things, by an accretion, the follow-up damage was good. It's going to be a sound barrier here for Nard when they've lost their Baptiste, but they still want to go for it. Garchomp looking electric in the front line here. Glacial, I saw that virus connection. Well placed as Jazz's Dead Eye will finish the fight.
Wait, they actually capped, y'all. We're talking about big chocolate because this game is really boring. But they capped. No, it's actually not a drunk stream. This is sparkling filtered water, sweetener blend, erythritol, stevia. Oh, don't even get me started on big stevia. Big stevia. That bitter aftertaste, heroin. And you're not even supposed to be taking heroin internally. Pressed organic ginger, natural pineapple flavor, natural honey flavor, natural lemon, and lime flavor, citric acid, and spices. I grew stevia plant. Did you guys know that? I grew a stevia plant in Florida. Oh, wow. Nice shot, Jazza. EMP and Annihilation use. That's good. I grew drugs. Well, initially the stevia doesn't have the heroin. It has to be added afterwards. The original stevia doesn't have a bitter aftertaste. It tastes, it's just straight up sugarcane. It's great. But then they added the aftertaste and then gaslit the nutritional natural community into thinking it had this bitter aftertaste. So basically what you end up having is you have all these hippies, these natural like hippie people in the early 2000s and late 90s. They think stevia is like this bitter aftertaste thing, when in reality that they were all soft heroin addicts. Like, let's be honest, every naturopath that you knew in the early 2000s was a little bit kooky. You guys ever walk into a health food store in 2003? You literally were walking into a drug den. You were basically at that point, you would have been better off walking into a straight up opium den at that point in time.
Dynasty though loses out in the 1 versus 1, but the rest of Obsidian shoving back into the choke. Flux here, sound barrier will be there for momentum though. Pops EMP will follow it straight away as Mayhem has a sound barrier of their own. Dove gets flanked.
Big caffeine is the real problem? Oh, don't even get me started. Big caffeine, here's the irony with the big caffeine. People know that big caffeine is a thing, but they're too tired from their lack of their caffeine addiction to actually fight big caffeine. That's the worst part about big caffeine. The more aware that you are that it's an issue, the less energy that you have to be able to fight it. It's a paradox. The big caffeine has already taken over. It's unstoppable. Opium? Tea? Yeah, but it's black tea. Opium is black tea. So you might have heard of black tea and like the caffeine thing. It's just straight up opium. And then what green tea is, it's a refined black tea, which is even stronger in its potency. Matcha tea it's not even technically opium. It's actually scientifically engineered opium. I think there's a combination with like some either it's like a erythritol to make it taste better. I forget what the actual chemical and thing, but it is bad. It is bad stuff. Maybe some PCP. I can't remember. I can't remember the exact thing that they do. I mean, I'm telling you guys, Gnaw I'd win. Since we started ranting, Gnaw I'd win has been doing better and better and better. So maybe we should keep ranting. I think this is what's going to keep Gnaw I'd win in. What do you guys think? What should we rant about next? What is the next big thing that we have to... Because we got to keep Gnaw I'd win in this game. All health foods are drugs, and all fast food is bad for you. No. Fast food is perfect for you. So the irony here is that what fast food does is fast food is actually great for you. What it does is there's like this big like this. Okay, actually, it's actually the pollution that kills you. So let me give you guys an example. It's the basically what you're inhaling is what's making you fat. It's not what you're eating, it's what you're inhaling. And so what ends up happening is that a lot of these like, these country folk or the urban, we're not really paying attention to the demographic of the people that are struggling with calories, right? And so what ends up happening is we blame the food, but it's not the food. McDonald's is trying to keep us alive. McDonald's doesn't want you to die. The longer you live, the more you eat, right? And so what ends up happening is that we start throwing these big corporations in the dumpster, but it's not even the big corporations' fault. The big corporations are just cover for the people that are really the problem, which is these natural path companies. You know what I'm saying? It's not. They talk about keeping your enemies close, but you keep your friends close, but you keep your enemies closer, right? It's always who you least expect, right? If you overeat, it's not great, right? But it's mostly, like I said, it's the pollution. Smoke a lettuce cigar. I mean, right. They call it. Why do you think they call it the devil's lettuce? Marijuana. Why do you think they call it the devil's lettuce? Why do you think the devil is using lettuce? Honest question. Why do you think the devil is using lettuce? Right? What would the devil have to care about a great, juicy, wonderful health food, right? Because it's not a juicy, wonderful health food. It's lettuce. Just remember that. Guys, I think our conspiracy fuels died off. Jaws is going to swap. Come on, guys. It worked so well up until this point. It's just Caesars into your lungs? Yes. Oh, don't even get me a salad and don't even get me started in a big salad. You guys think kale is dirty? You have no idea. You have absolutely no idea. Big salad is actually maybe the biggest one. Big salad is the one, you guys think the kale thing is bad? Imagine an entire community that thinks that not only that one ingredient is bad, but that an entire food group is tasteless. How many of you guys think that salad is the way to lose weight, right? I mean, that's been around for what, 30 years, 40 years? Bro, big salad is dirtier than the inside of your fingernail. Absolutely ridiculous. Big salad has been running things for so long, I can't even tell you. Look at the food pyramid, right? What is that, like 10, 9 servings of vegetables? Just eat 2 big salads a day. Awful. Big salad is run by Big Ranch.
Yeah, but you saw some signs of life there from Nide win, right? Like when they were actually able to get
You just wash your fingernails? Yeah, that's a cap.
it looked like a much evener game, even matchup.
What about the pyramid involving Maslow's hierarchy of needs? Send me the link to the pyramid. I'll take a look. I'll tell you about how that's a conspiracy. Big Ranch is also cocaine? You think it's cocaine? It's way up. 2 words. Methamphetamine.
You know, when you pick the Sigma, you are going to force the defenders to be aggressive. You're going to force them to come forward and close the gap, because otherwise you keep them at arm's length for the entire game, and you get way more value than even a Ramatra who...
Cocaine. If only. If only. That's one word. That's another conspiracy. That's another conspiracy.
I really do think the Sombra being out of the picture makes life much easier for that Ramatra. You're not going to have...
It's actually really important that it's 2 words. In fact, the original meaning of the word is a warning in Portuguese, but when you combine the words, it loses the warning.
I mean, look, the Magas...
But, you know, you wouldn't know that, would you?
Much more to add to that at the moment. We've sort of discussed it a heck of a lot here. I am interested...
Okay, so let's talk about Maslow's hierarchy of needs here. All right? So let's talk about this. Let's pick this apart. Let's get our epic pin out here. Wait, I need to close down Overwatch because I don't need Overwatch open anymore. Let's start with the fundamentals. Physiological needs. Okay, first off, define physiological. That's right. I didn't think you actually knew the definition. It's just one of those words that people throw around, but they don't even actually know what it means. Physiological needs. Nobody, first off, we're already having a bad foot here. Nobody knows what the frick this guy's talking about. What is physiological? I don't know. Tell you what I need to do is understand what physiological means, but nobody actually tells you that, so we don't know that. All right, now let's keep going down what he actually defines as physiological needs, which really doesn't make any sense, because if you think about it, what does air and sleep have in common, or reproduction and water, or food and clothing? There's no common theme between any of these statements. So this guy's like off the goop already. So this is all you really need to know. This is like psychological mumbo jumbo. Now that is a word that I can define, mumbo jumbo. All right. So air. Okay. What does air mean? How does this help me that I need air? I need water. I need food. Okay. Congratulations, you stated the obvious here. Okay. And here's where we get to really some fun stuff. Shelter. What the frick is shelter supposed to be for? Does this guy literally think that a little bit of rain is going to kill me? What the frick, dude? I don't need... Is this guy seriously scared of a little rain and a little sun? This guy wants to keep you inside. We make fun of cavemen because they lived in caves. And this guy has the audacity to say that shelter is something that we need. Okay, sleep. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole, but there's a whole nother topic about big sleep, okay? There's even a movie about it, okay? It's a crime movie, unsurprised, right? Big sleep, big thing. We won't even go off on that one, all right? Clothing, all right? Let me ask you a question. What is clothing for, really? Seriously, what does it do? What does it do? Really, what does it do? It covers your butt cheeks? Like, is that really a priority here? Oh no, my butt cheeks are exposed. I'm going to die. Keeps you warm? When it's needed, yes, 50% of the year. What about the other 50%, jackass? Are we going to say that big sleep isn't a problem? Big sleep technically only takes a third of my day. It's still a conspiracy, bro. Imagine 50% of the year you're doing something completely unnecessary and you're telling me that's not a big deal? Are you joking me? You're kidding, right? Okay, and then reproduction. Boy, I don't even have to talk to you about this one. Guys, there has been an asexual cellular reproduction system available to humanity since 1923. since it's actually almost just over a century as of last year. And yet, have you heard about it? No, because all we want to talk about is reproduction. Bro, I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. We are in the 21st century. We don't have to reproduce like that. I'm telling you, these guys want us to go back to cavemen at like reproduce, shelter, go to sleep, air, water, and food. It's a joke. It's a joke. Safety needs. All right. Well, that's great. Safety needs. This is already gaslighting you because this implies that your safety is like a big, like, oh, you need to be, no, like it implies that you're under threat, right? It implies you're under threat. Really? Do you feel threatened right now, chat? Do you feel under threat right now? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, this is the equivalent of like telling you I'm in your walls, right? This guy is telling you he's in his walls. Personal security. From what? You, Maslow? Employment? What do you mean employment? To do what? To serve your needs, Maslow? Resources. Well, what do you mean? Resources for what? What does this even mean? Resources. Health? You mean the so I could reproduce, buddy? Health that's screwed over by your demands for sleep? Is that what you mean, buddy? By the clothing, the polyester that I'm wearing, buddy? Property? Oh, look at this guy. Look at this guy. Property? That's the safety need? Are you joking? What about property provides safety? No, property is what compromises your safety, if anything, because it means that you have something that is valuable to other individuals so that therefore they want to risk your safety to take what you have. If you don't have resources, if you don't have property, then you are safe. If you don't have employment, you have nothing to lose. This guy's gaslighting you. This guy's gaslighting you. Love and belonging, right? Because we all know where this is going to lead. Reproduction. It's big reproductive, guys. We talk about big sleep, big reproductive. They want you feeling love and belonging because that's what leads to the drive to reproduce. It feels the drive to sleep and so on. Like this is again, somebody has something to gain from this. Friendship, okay, again, gee, I wonder what ulterior motive you could have me trying to make connections with other individuals. Maslow is using you like his own computer. Like, guys, you ever seen a motherboard, right? With all the connections and all this stuff? You need that for a system to work, right? You are the system. You are the motherboard. It's the matrix. The friendship is the matrix. It's what's connecting you to other people, and that connection is being used. Same thing with intimacy, same thing with family, sense of connection. What did I tell you? He's not even trying to hide it. They're not even trying to hide it anymore. They're not even trying to hide it. That's actually unreal. Okay, esteem, right. Because what does high self-esteem make you do? It makes you productive. It makes you active. It makes you seeking out to do things and do other people. Respect, self-esteem, status, recognition. Notice, by the way, all of these things are tied into either property, employment, or reproduction. Strength, freedom. You guys see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? You see it, right? Every single one of these things checks the reproduction or property, employment, personal security box. Every single one. And then self-actualization. So again, now we're just making up words. This is actually not a word. If you look it up in the dictionary, you'll notice that there's like a quarter of a second delay, but because it actually sidelogs you into Maslow's own, like his own separate server. This word doesn't exist. Trust me. If you look up any dictionary before the year 1956, this word doesn't actually exist. When was Maslow born? 1957. Okay? Take what you will from that. Desire to become the most that most one can be. And again, do you see what this is all about? It's all about becoming a more effective cog in their machine. Maslow's hierarchy of needs is Maslow's hierarchy of his needs. And the Illuminati need for you to serve as a cog in the machine and doing what they want you to do. They're weaponizing your own quote unquote natural key trained Pavlovian drives so that they could serve a better purpose that they will pick out for you. Unreal. Let's go back and watch some Overwatch.
It'll be very difficult to push into this. This is where I think the Ashe can definitely thrive.
Jazza's trying to start that process, right? Get a staging ground on that high ground yourself, get a kill.
Nod Win has the lead, guys. We must have been cooking. Because Nod Win just got the lead.
There's an aspect of maybe it would have been better just to have let this one go. Garchomp able to find Dynasty at the very least there.
Guys, we cooked. They're winning. They're winning, guys. We was good it. We did it. We're winning.
Can't be happy with that result.
Yeah, they do get the lead, but I imagine this lead is going to flip.
Nice, guys. Nice.
Paradox. The high ground is
No, they lost the lead. We stopped. Dang it. Big Sleep wins again. Oh.
in the last fight, but also there's not.
Is that a beer? No, it's a ginger beer. Non-alcoholic.
The opposing team's high ground to use the Matrix, but Jazza with a long range shot there.
Can you send that in my email? No. No. Do you think you let me honest question for me, Corpy. Do you think you'd even get that email? Do you think that you'd even get that email, or do you think that'd be intercepted along the way? See what I'm saying? You know exactly. You and I both know exactly where that email would end up. It'd get intercepted. It'd get intercepted, and you and I would both be in more trouble than we already are. Big email? You have no idea. It goes so much deeper than that. Big ginger shill?
They see two players out. Jazza falls early at the
Typical.
KMR, but still far enough for them to get now a pretty
Big shampoo? Shampoo's okay. I'd say. I think the whole psychotropic drugs thing that they inject into there is a little rough, but it could be worse. Could be worse. I think psychotropic drugs are among one of the least offensive things that have been injected into our systems.
I think they don't want to sort of leak ultimates like we saw Nide Win do on occasion and have to rely on getting picks and winning fights in like less likely manners. So might just be investment here. Dynasty hack, they're going to send the bob in. That's one they're happy to part with for the time being. Big bad and bustling off to business.
Yeah, it's just too predictable. Big self-improvement. Well, of course it's... yeah, I mean, big self-improvement is obvious. You guys have already seen my discussion on Maslow's hierarchy of needs, so you know exactly what's the purpose of big self-improvement, guys. What's the purpose of big self-improvement? Why do you think big self-improvement is always pushing you? Why? What's the purpose? What do they have to gain from you improving yourself? Big reproduction. You got it. Big reproduction, big property, a better cog in the machine. You got it. Hey, Zanzibar. That's it. That's it. If you improve yourself, you're a better cog in the machine. You need to be... Think about it this way. When the Nazis took over France, the underground French Revolution, sabotage, right? You guys need to self-sabotage if you want to stop. If you want to be good, you need to self-sabotage Maslow. If you self-sabotage, then you are not a functional cog in their machine. You got me?
And Nide Win is actually kind of effective, Mitch. They get Dynasty early in that fight, which they can use that sound back combo, go against that gravitic flux.
Big angles, big positioning, big timing. The NA hive mind is the opening your third eye of the Overwatch Matrix. Big smalls? Oh, you don't even want to know about big smalls. You guys talk about the you guys want to talk about like the Napoleon complex? Big, it's all the midgets. It's all the midgets are holding us down. You get what I'm saying? Big shorts, yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna be tough. And now
anyone that's under 6 foot, probably Illuminati.
a bit more pressure on Dub. You just need to find this like medium
Yeah.
range that you're gonna fight in. Is Dynasty just in a really odd spot?
They already used Suzy. This is the opportunity. Dynasty doesn't even have to draw the steal to find these two. They knew he was there. They were aware that the Genji was in a flanking position. The Dynasty still drags them down.
Well, we did pretty good though. They got a little bit of. They're doing all right, guys. This is more competitive. Wait, so you were also member? No. No, I'm tall. I'm 6 foot 1, 2, 6 foot 3. Here's what it is. The big shorts are trying to. They're gaslighting you. I'm not actually short. They're gaslighting you. Anybody who says that I'm short is gaslighting you. That's what I'm saying. Big short.
inside that gravitic flux, that Sigma ultimate completely wasted. And all it
Big Overwatch coaching?
was signaled the go for
Honest question, y'all.
into the rest of them and take a bit of a brawl. Blade used there by Dynasty. It didn't headline the fight, didn't have to.
Well, I guess we should finish this map here, but remind me big Overwatch coaching. I'll tell you what I got. I'll show you what I got. I'll show you what I got.
To like no dodge the
As-
accretion coming from Trent.
Talk about big Overwatch coaching in just a moment here.
AJ Mar uses this AM matrix up front.
I need to convert it.
How they got an advantage in the previous fight.
This is a huge part of the Sigma mirror fight. I mean, hitting that accretion while your opponent is going for a flux.
Oh, you guys have no idea about big Overwatch coaching. You guys have absolutely no idea about big Overwatch coaching. That's all I'm going to say. Something. Let's put it this way. It's been my life mission for the last 6 years. You have no idea.
Line of sight of players just shooting through that AM matrix at that Sigma up in the sky. Nothing you can really do there.
Might be a quick series, this one, Matt. Jazzo. Deadeye a little bit hard to guarantee here with Sigma Shield, so you push past it instead. Try and get Obsidian to scatter. Get rid of the Immortality Field. They've done
That was a little awkward.
remove some of these
Big maple syrup. Yeah.
and they haven't spent too heavily either. Pulse Bomb there for Glacial to secure the kill on Dub. That's fine. They keep it beat. They keep it Deadeye. But there's 49 seconds left to play.
Yeah, I think you're just trying to contest.
I don't know. Bob is going to be the turning table here. I don't think Noid wins this. It's beat for beat, but I think Bob better than High Noon.
4 fights in a row here.
The key thing is just what's Glacial's flank going to do.
Quite brutal to do.
And seeing Dove on Ash is such a throwback. That's like old 2020 days. Early Bob. I was going to say, that's very early, very disengageable. And they catch AJ Mar. They should be able to catch the Genji here. They might not even need to use the beat here. They do use the beat. So that's a pretty good trade. Like, this is actually insane that, like, wait, hello? Oh my gosh, guys. How? No! We stopped talking and now look what happens. How do they lose? Oh no. Dang it, guys. We stopped our, like, schizophrenic, like, ranting and look at what happens. No. Well, crud, man. Well, this is what happens, guys, when I stop ranting. Okay, you guys want to talk about big coaching? Overwatch coaching. Gamer Sensei, Metafy, Fiverr, IOSDux. That's funny, guys. There's somebody missing here. Better Gamer, We Coach, IOSDux, boosting. Wow, why is Spilo all the way at the bottom? Isn't that weird? Google search results, the greatest coach in the history of any esport or sport. And he's at the bottom? Weird. I wonder if there's some secret conspiracy pushing Spilo to the bottom. I'm going to talk about big Overwatch coaching. What do you think I've been fighting for the last 6 years, you morons? What do you think I've been fighting for the last 6 years? Unreal. You guys even, how do you not even know that? Illuminati? And that's not even Illuminati. You know, we're not quite at that level yet. Need to approach Google at an off angle for better results. Yeah, see? So it is what it is. Anyway, I'm glad that we kind of put Maslow's hierarchy of needs to bed, because that was, wait, is that even the right term of the, somehow that doesn't sound right. Put it to rest or whatever. Because Elo Mastery, oh, don't even get me started about Elo Mastery. Those guys have got me at gunpoint. IOSDux is ending his coaching? Yeah. He's moving up in the world. He's moving up to Big Kale. That's the ending of the, he'll go from Big Kale, I'm sure, to Big Internet, and then maybe even all the way up to Big Chocolate. Big Krusty. I still can't believe they lost that last fight, man. That is actually wild. They used beat, high noon, everything, and just G freaking G's. Big YouTube, yeah. I'll have a blue Christmas without you. What were we gonna do? It's not that many eliminations. It's over 3 games or 3 maps. It was a pretty fast game, so it's decent. But yeah, I think he played well though. Anyone else sound friendly with Big Tobacco? I think what we should do more of the map guide thing while we're waiting between rounds. What do you guys think? The thing that my buddy put together for the thing. Also, I go through Hammer Time, and this is the first thing I see. Bro, we're not doing this. I want to be very clear. This is not something we're going to be taking a look at, all right? Just so we're very clear. For multiple reasons, all right? Just so we're aware. Yeah, we're not gonna be doing that. Ask Spilo. Yeah, maybe we'll do some Ask Spilo today. We'll see. I need to finish this one first. You forgot my email again? Just look at my Twitter. Yeah, that one is yeah. Wait, where's my notepad here? Because we had to make some notes here. Guys, surely I would never make a video with my, as the thumbnail. Surely I would never do such a thing. Is this it? Where the frick? I said my, I didn't say anything. Okay, I found it. Big awkward, yes. Wait, so like 150 here. Wait, do we want 150? Yeah, 150 is fine. All right, Ash. So we did the tanks last time. Let's see if we can do the DPS today. Prefers medium to long range engagements. Consider how quickly she can alternate between the 2 ranges. Route 66 is a good example. We get separate characters control maps where lots of moves occurring where long range is limited. Yeah, I guess that's fine. Maybe not Lijiang Tower. What would you guys say is a bad map for being enclosed? I don't think Lijiang Tower is. I guess Lijiang Tower. Yeah. Bastion prefers flatter maps with shorter sight skill dealing burst damage against tanks in the same position ability to disengage from terraform. Lack of vertical and horizontal makes it extremely difficult to engage sappers. Also deals with long distance below average. Yes. Yeah. Chastity prefers medium range engagements with multiple flank options. Short range and long range characters. Be extremely mindful of longer range characters who are dealing damage from high range and aggressive flank. Yep. Can utilize her vertical mode. This one's been easy so far. We had a lot more feedback on the tank stuff, right? But this one's been pretty good so far. Echo can utilize her vertical mobility to reach maps high grounds. Can reasonably alternate dealing damage at short and medium ranges. Ilios Lighthouse. Honestly, again, like with Echo, we could just do Echo, Ilios, all of them. Extremely long time hyper characters. Circuit Royale, sure. Genji thrives in control maps that have short sightlines on point and longer sightlines off of point. Can excel in situations that offer. I guess Genji would be thrives on control maps have short sightlines. I wouldn't say longer sightlines off point. Cheers. I did the video with this, but this is a buddy of mine who put it all on a thing, You guys can check it out, by the way, if you'd like. Here, I'll link it in chat if you guys want to check it out. You can bookmark it and save it as a cheat guide for later. Circuit Royale. I'd say no circuit, probably. Flatter, more open maps are not ideal. Oh yeah, spelled variety wrong. Busan Mecha Base. Clarify, no real bad maps, just some not as good. Yeah, I agree. I don't think Havana would make the list of my good maps here. I don't remember what we talked about in the video. What's the next match, y'all? Oh, it's an interview. I would say Hanzo's more mid-range. More mid-range with long-range options. Yeah, I agree with that. This guy made fun of my English and types variety afterwards. That's the whole point! It's supposed to be misspelled because he misspelled it in his thing. I'm making a note that he misspelled it. See? This guy. I'm proofreading it. That's what I'm doing here. Junkrat thrives dealing short range damage. You have sent your fan art? All right, we'll pause. I'm got anything yet. Maybe I'll wait. Oh wait, no, I did get it. It's great. This is me after the 45th Kiriko VOD in 2 weeks. That's great. That's great. I love the folding chair and the slippers. Bro, I'm wearing the pants. Did you see the pants I was wearing? Look, I'm wearing pants, shorts. Wait, hang on. I couldn't see. I'm gonna have to save that, man. That's gold. Thanks, man. That's very generous of you. I'll have to send it to Pepper. That's hilarious. Can we make that a Discord emote? All right, I'll drop it on Best of Spilo, and you guys can do what you want with it. Where is it? Where'd it go? What did I do with it? Hello? Wait, hang on. Sorry, I lost it. The problem with emotes is they're always like cool, but it's hard to see sometimes. Getting Dorado the second time this month? Yeah. Save? Oh, I don't think I saved that as a PNG. Wait, it's not working. Why is it not working? It's like freaking out. It's not saving. Maybe I could just screenshot it. Maybe that's just like the hack there. Yeah, resend as a PNG. It's freaking out at me. All right, let's keep going here. Wait, what's next? What's next? Oh, is that it? Wait, that's it till 6:30? I have a freaking hour of downtime? I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to watch much more. Well, frick me, man. I'm gonna have to figure something else out to do. We'll figure something else out. We got to finish the hero DPS thing. Let's do that really fast. Let's do that really quick. Junkrat thrives dealing short range damage. Narrow quarters make it valuable offense and defense. I can volley. Yeah. Long range silence, inability to set at flanks. Sure. May can brawl, poke, and even flank. Ice wall ability can be straight used to reverse for long choosing agent. Again, I'd say May, just use May, Lijiang, Tower. Well, Ice Wall enables vertical movement, certain mouse will have higher. I saw to reach. We can mindful the number of resources we consume when traversing long sight lines. Yep, sure. The first maps to provide flanks and vertical cover. Again, Ilios for Pharah as well. It needs to just be the one thing. And then Reaper's going to have the same problem. I'm already seeing Antarctic. I still remember when I was a kid, freaking misspelling Antarctica because I forgot that C after Arctica. Haunted me for the rest of my days. Be extremely mindful of snipers and longer sightlines where flanks are limited. I would also say be mindful of taking aggro flanks of flat maps versus flanker heavy comps. Number of control maps. Yeah, I'm joking, DVD. That's fine. Prefers the number of control maps with many short angles and flanks. Should be relatively reasonable, but always have time you need to set before. Maps alongside are not ideal to short range weapons. Set from backlines. After this map is especially attacking a tank. Be extremely mindful of this behavior. Try to be the predominant action taken. Hi, girl. Sojourn, misspelled sojourn. Sojourn, misspelled. Possesses the ability to engage at both shorter and longer ranges. Can utilize the horizontal. Survasa can be problematic while she does possess certain areas of map will still provide for consistently ascend. Yeah, that seems relatively fair. I wouldn't. Yeah. A redesigned problematic map series? Yeah, maybe. I feel like, I actually feel like I don't know if I'm qualified to do that. Like, I feel like the hero thing, I feel like way more confident doing than. Prefers taking wide angles and flanks that enable her to consistently engage from the backline, considering which help actually do Queen Street tighter maps to make it more difficult to backline. Yeah, there you go, Alexa. There you go, Alexa. Symmetra thrives when she can utilize teleport and move quickly into areas of contention. Symmetra, using tower only. Don't have all the individual details. Okay. Torbjorn, let me know if you guys see anything here that you disagree with on the DPS one. Torbjorn. Again, Torb can be just basis only. Extremely mindful of longer sightings held by search. Tracer prefers broad ones with numerous angles of flame from design. Particular spelled wrong. Tracer spelled particular wrong. First longer sightings. Yeah, Widow, just Oasis. Yeah. Yeah, okay. You guys want to look at some hammer time? I guess we've done that for now. Was your background the Cosmic Silverback from BO3? It was just a meme. It was just a meme. I figured we needed something good because I saw Avril's background. I was like, oh, bro, we gotta at least have something to compete with that. So, secret flaw hindering greatness. Oh no! Do I dare look at another Chipsa VOD? All right, guys, we'll do Chipsa, volatile, fix Overwatch, 3 easy steps. I'm gonna let you all vote for this one. Hammer time. Chipsa, huge problem. Ranked, volatile. Samito, 3 easy steps. Ralph. Well, no, let's do one more where Sumito. Counter swap. All right, y'all. I'm going to set a 2-minute poll. You guys vote. I got to pee. I'll be right back. The poll is live now. Vote for what y'all want to look at. I made some water too, actually. Give me a second, y'all. Volatile, ranked, and counter swap. All right, let's do it. It's like volatile, ranked. Maybe if we'll have time, we'll do another one. Okay. Let's take a look. Keep in mind that I'm always cautious of videos like these because, again, I don't feel like I fully understand the mathematics of a lot of the things that they're going to be talking about. So, I'm not as familiar with like elo systems and rank systems, so I will give some takes here and there, depending on like what he attacks. But yeah, and also keep in mind that there might be some bugs in the system. So yeah.
I want to talk about the Overwatch 2 Season 9 rank changes, but primarily a very specific portion of them called modifiers. I think overall the new rank system is pretty bad. It's a lot better than what we had, obviously, but it's still nowhere near as good as SR, and one of the main reasons it's still so bad is obviously the UI, but that's not what I want to talk about.
Is it turn up a bit? Yeah, I mean I have it as loud as I can. I don't think I can turn up any louder. But isn't what we have SR? Like it's the same thing. It's just a different visual. It's the same thing. It's just like a percentage instead of a integer.
Specifically, I want to talk about the modifiers and how they work, how they're applied, and why they're terrible.
And to my knowledge, again, modifiers were always a part of the SR system. They were just hidden. Like they've always been part of it. That's why you gained and lost different amounts of SR because of the internal modifiers. It's just it's impossible to have an elo system without modifiers. In fact, it's impossible to have a balance system without modifiers because it's impossible to have perfect matchmaking of everybody the same SR all the time. Even things like win streaks have modifiers.
Essentially, if you're unaware, the modifiers are a new part of the Overwatch rank system, where essentially you can...
We're already starting off on a bad foot.
Lose less elo, lose more elo, things like that, depending on the outcome of a game. So essentially, there's a modifier called expected, and what that means is, if you win a game that you were favored to win, you gain less elo. Basically, what happens is, it will pair you in a game, and then depending on how good the game thinks you and your team are, then judges depending on what modifier should be applied. So if you queue into a game and you're obviously smurfing, if you win, you're more likely to get the expected modifier because the game knows you're a lot better than you are, therefore it expects you to win all the time, and if it expects you to win all the time, then you get the expected modifier, which is backwards, because if the game expects you to win, you would assume that you should gain more elo.
Do you not understand what expected means? Like, I'm going to explain for you guys, in case there's somebody in chat that doesn't understand what expected means. Expected means that you're expected to win, not because you are good, necessarily, but because your team has the higher average SR than the enemy team because the matchmaker wasn't able to find people of exactly the same level. So you go into a game where you're 2650 average SR
and the enemy team is 2550 or 2600 SR. So you're expected to win. So you're rewarded less for winning because a larger percent, like it works out percentage wise. Like you will win 60% of the games that you were expected to win and lose 40% of the ones that you're expected to lose, or expected to win, excuse me. And you will gain a percentage amount to the amount. So in other words, when you're expected to win, you gain a little bit less because you win a little bit more often, right? This is like a fundamental misunderstanding of what this actually means. Like I feel like this is obvious. Maybe I'm being rude here, but this is obvious. Like this is exactly how this kind of stuff works.
But you don't. You gain less.
Exactly, Matt.
So you
imagine if you pitted the.
You can be Giga Smurfing.
I'm thinking about it this way: if a game pits you into a match where you are playing versus a team that has 50 or 100 higher SR than you do, and then pits you into the next game into one where you were 100 SR higher than the enemy team, like your team versus the enemy team, do you think you should get the same amount of SR for both of those victories? Do you think that if I'm a high plat player and I play versus a low diamond team and as a high plat team, do you think I should get the same reward as if when I was a high plat team beating a low plat team? Do you really think that that's fair? It makes no sense.
And win every game, but the game knows you're going to win every game, so it gives you the expected modifier. And then the expected modifier...
That's not how the expected modifier works.
Which is incredibly backwards. It doesn't make any sense, but that's just how it works. Anyway, there are other modifiers. There are two in particular that are very bad.
Somebody in the comments has to call them out, right? Oh, no.
Now, obviously, they're all bad, but there's two that really destroy the matchmaking system for me. It is reversal and volatile. Essentially, what reversal is if you are expected to win and you lose more elo than you would have otherwise. So let's say, on average, you gain and lose 20 elo per game. If you get reversaled, which means you were expected to win, but you lost, you might lose upwards of 25, 30, 35 SR, sometimes even 40, depending on how favored you were, which is dumb for a couple of reasons, and I'll explain those reasons in a minute after I explain what volatile is. Volatile is a modifier that you're supposed to get after you rank up. Now, I've never seen it on my main account for some bizarre reasons, but I see it on...
Does he not know what volatile means? I've never seen it on my main account. Obviously, because volatile means that you don't know, the game doesn't know how good you are. If it's your main account, it's the account that you've played the most since Overwatch, so it's pretty sure that when this rank system was active, the rank system already knew exactly how good you were. This is the same logic when people are like, I was hard stuck until I went on an alt, and then I ranked up a lot faster. That's what volatile means. The game tries to find out how good you are, and so that's the nature of volatile. Let me give you guys an example. When you level a new account, and you play like 30, 40 games in that account, the game tries to find out what rank you are quickly through the volatile system. So it's sensitive. You win a lot of games, it's like, okay, you must be really good. You lose a lot of games, oh, you must be really bad. It's not sure, but it maintains volatility for a period of time because it's still not sure. It's still not sure. But as you play more and more and more and more games and get more concrete, there's less guesswork of how good you are because the game has thousands of data points of how good exactly you are with the wins and losses. That's how volatility works. In fact, it's actually possible for you to get enough accounts and roll the dice enough and get to a new peak. That's probably one of the most efficient ways of ranking up to a new peak, besides just getting good, is to keep rolling the dice and using the volatile thing. You can't abuse that, right? That's just the nature. But what that does, the reason why that's important is because it helps people to find the rank that they're at quickly. And it also prevents things like smurfing, because without volatile, smurfing becomes a much bigger problem because it's really easy to de-rank or just level up a new account and stay in plat, gaining 20 SR at a time without the volatile modifier and ruin hundreds of games. Oh, volatile is from the D-rank protection? That makes no sense. I'm fairly certain volatile is... I have no idea.
On all of my Smurf accounts, basically every other game, where essentially what happens is, after you rank up, you enter calibration matches for your new rank. So say you're a gold 5 player, and then you win and you rank up to gold 4, you would then enter calibration matches, which by default have the volatile modifier pre-applied to them, which I think they're supposed to, but they don't always. It's confusing, I don't know. Anyway, basically what that means is, volatile is if you win after you rank up, then because your rank is volatile, you'll gain more elo. But if you lose, you'll also lose more elo. The thing
Yeah. Yeah, this is it. Yeah. Calibration is the volatility, and volatility is the negativity of you are negatively volatile. That's it. That volatile description is wrong? Is the modifier that you get after you D-rank after being in demotion protection. Oh. Oh, that's all it is. Yeah, I know what you guys are, I know what that is. So volatile is basically when you guys know the routine, right? Where you'll be like at the bottom of your progress bar and you'll lose a game, but it keeps you in the same rank. And then you lose one more game and then you drop to the next rank, but you go way down because you really technically were already here in the first place, but the game was trying to encourage you by keeping you in the same rank. I feel like that system is kind of silly. I think you could actually just straight up remove volatile entirely and it wouldn't affect anything. I get the psychology of like, oh, we want to make people feel like they're still at the same rank, but all that means is that in the next loss that they get really mentally boomed because they lose like half their bar. So there's no reason to have volatile. Maybe there's some sort of psychology in there that it's actually, it is a positive thing, but yeah. Now I'm gonna cut him some slack for not understanding volatile because I thought volatile was just a different form of calibration.
Thing about volatile that's extremely stupid is that, let's say, well, there's two main reasons, but let's talk about the first one. And let's say you're actually a diamond player, right? Let's say you're diamond 3, for example, and you've always been diamond 3, but you're starting to get a little bit better at the game, and you've just been diamond 3 for a long time. You just had to grind some ranked. The game expects you to play at a diamond 3 level, so if you win games, you're not going to get expected modifiers, and if you lose, you're not going to get reversals, meaning you're gaining and losing about 20 elo.
But see, that's not what it means with expected. If you're playing in diamond 3 and the game knows you're in diamond 3, you might absolutely get expected modifiers because expected modifiers don't depend on your rank. It has nothing to do with how sure the game is as it knows how. Expected is entirely on your team's SR. It might be diamond 3 versus a diamond 2 team with a diamond 3 team, and you will get or a diamond versus a diamond 4 team and get an expected modifier
per game. However, let's say that you manage to rank up into Diamond 2 after a long win streak. Let's say you win like 4 in a row, and you rank up into Diamond 2. Then, for whatever reason, a teammate disconnects, right? There's nothing you can do. You just lose that game. There's nothing you can do. You are then hit with the volatile modifier. No matter what reason you lost for, it doesn't matter. You then get volatile.
You're not. You'll get hit with the volatile modifier after because you have just hit Diamond 2. And so then you'll lose the game and it will still keep you in Diamond 2, even though you should have dropped back to Diamond 3. And then the next loss will then really punish you. I'm right, correct? Correct? So if you just hit Diamond 2 and then you lose the game, you'll stay Diamond 2, even if you just barely are in Diamond 2. And then the volatile will happen afterwards.
And here's the thing about volatile. If you lose with a volatile modifier, you can lose a lot of SR, and I have been losing.
But a volatile modifier is not one game. A volatile modifier is the loss streak of 2 games, usually. Or 1.5. It depends on how much you lost before you hit rock bottom.
A lot of SR with the volatile modifier. Where basically, on average, I lose anywhere between 50 and 60 SR, or ELO, or percentage, whatever you want to.
That's normal. That's how it should be.
Every time I lose with the volatile modifier. But if I win with it...
But to see, okay, this is where I'm going to criticize the ranked thing because this guy, I agree. Like some of the stuff is like, you should know, like you should have done the bare level of research. But the fact that I didn't know what volatile is, he doesn't know what volatile is, I understand the frustration. Because this was not clarified outside of a tweet, right? Like that's not how this should be done. So I'm like, he clearly does not understand this one. And this one is, and I don't think particularly his fault.
I only gain 20. I don't gain anymore. So, if you are using your noggin, if we think about all the modifiers currently,
and what inevitably happens with this kind of stuff as well is then like when there's a lack of clarity, then conspiracy theories. It's like something about ranked systems leads to conspiracy theories because people refuse to take responsibility for just being bad at the game.
In the game.
And the other problem as well is because it's like mathy, wacky, timey-wimey stuff, it also it's something that people fully understand. So then there's like it leaves a lot of room for interpretation in conspiracy.
Let's say you're smurfing, for example, and you're winning all of your games, but you're expected to win all your games. You are getting the
So I will defend certain aspects of like the rank system, but I do understand like volatile is just stupid. It's just it's not clear.
Wins, which means you're getting about 15 elo a win. But then let's say you rank up into a new rank and then you get the volatile modifier and you lose for whatever reason. Now this doesn't just apply to your first game either. I have won 3 games in a rank before and then lost and then been hit with volatile before, meaning I like
shouldn't be the case. If that's the case, then that should be a bug. If you loot your first game, you're already be hitting with a volatile modifier, then that's a bug. But the problem is that I'm going to tell you guys a little secret here. I think I said this in Discord the other day. In the content creator Discord, there was an individual that was saying something about like, they were getting hit with, I think, the expected win percentage or the expected modifier and like the vast majority of their games, like 70, 75, whatever percent. And that there's something buggy with the system because I'm getting expected like literally every single game. Well, then I believe one of the Blizzard engineers actually showcased the statistics from that player's account and it showcased that it was happening like 50% of the time. Psychology. We see the negatives and we remember the negatives. We will remember a negative experience even if it's actually factually completely false. You got fact checked by a Blizzard engineer who has access to your account and you were wrong. And so like with stuff like this, I believe it partially because I know the system does have its kinks, but also psychology will tell me that, I had a volatile, but are you sure? You sure you remember it correctly? Are you sure you remember it correctly? Because people are really unreliable with this kind of stuff. Like almost at the point where the statistic is almost unusable because personal bias gets in the way so badly.
I could be like 1 game away from ranking up and then lose and then be hit with volatile and lose as hard.
Because that should not be the case. That shouldn't happen.
Mathematically, about 4 games, rank up, lose, and then be back to where I started. I can have an 80% win rate and never rank up because of volatile.
See, I just don't believe that. Until I see hard numbers on that, I just don't believe that. I just don't believe that. I mean, maybe is that true? Maybe in some niche circumstances, maybe. But over a course of any sort of hours, no, I just don't believe that. Unless you're literally getting expected in literally 100% of your matches, that should not be the case. And even if you did, I don't think expected has an 80% win percentage. I think it depends on the lobby, of course, but I find most expected matches are relatively close in SR. So it would be like a 60-65% chance of winning.
Now, I don't think that's happening to anyone, but it's pretty close to happening to me. Where currently, my top 500, by the way, account is sitting at a pretty 70+% win rate, and it's exactly where it started at the start of the season.
Okay, honest question, guys. When it comes to MMR system, and this is where I'm going to admit ignorance, is it not true that the higher in rank that you go, the higher win rate you need to continue climbing? It's the same reason why bronze players have like negative win rates, right, in general. And then if it's top 500 plus, you need like 55, 56, 60 plus, whatever win rate. I mean, I think you have to maintain even higher win rate, the higher and higher and higher you go. So it is entirely reasonable to have an 80% win rate, to get unlucky with the number of expected games that you're getting, and or you never get a win streak or whatever else, and maintain the same rank. Improbable, but it's possible.
I don't think there is any other, like, I'm not familiar with matchmaking systems in that regard, but I don't think there's any other way for that to work. Like, I don't think it's physically possible to maintain a 51% win rate and climb at number 1. It definitely worked like that. 4.7K, like, you guys remember Aspen getting 4.7K? She was like one of the last players to hit 4.7K. She had to have like a ridiculously high win rate to keep that. Like, losing a game crippled you. It's always worked like that because otherwise there's an infinite, in theory, SR curve where if you always win slightly more, there's just an infinite ceiling. It's like basically what it is. It's like gravity gets crushing you down to where, like, if you slip even for a second, it crushes you down. I'm not a matchmaker scientist here, but this is my current understanding of things. The higher rank you have, the more expected you get. Yes, basically. It's harder to create even lobbies.
But my main account started in low masters and is now mid grandmaster. I think I just deranked into GM4 actually. So what's happening?
Well, of course, yes, that's the bell curve. You start in masters, you could get a 52%, 54%, 55% win rate and climb the grandmaster. Because you're not anywhere near the bell curve, right? GM4, like, your masters to top 500. A top 500 player has to maintain a higher win rate to stay higher.
Thing is if I play on that account and I win, all of my games are expected for me to win because I'm smurfing and I'm obviously performing higher than I'm meant to for my rank. So all my games.
Now he's not, now expected is not the same. See, he's using these terms, but it's not the same as the expected modifier.
Are expected. And then if I lose, I get volatile and I lose like 50, 60 elo. Which is dumb. It's already dumb that the expected modifier means I gain less elo. If anything, expected means I should gain more elo because it expects me to win because I'm better than them. And if I'm better than them, then I'm in the wrong rank. So,
no, your team is better than them. So the game is going to punish you harder if you lose. It's trying to create an even match.
So if I win, and I'm expected to win because I'm better, surely I should rank up faster. That just seems like pretty standard to me. But apparently that's not how the Blizzard devs think the system should work. Anyway, let's say I then get volatile, and I derank a ton. Well, then what do? I'm winning way more than I'm meant to be. I'm performing much higher than like everyone in the rank because I'm smurfing. But my rank is staying exactly the same because I'm hit with volatile modifiers, or reversal modifiers, which are basically the same but less punishing. And I want to show you exactly how brain dead the system is. I'm going to show you my SR after losing this game, and you will be stunned.
There it is! There it is! You guys see it?
After losing this game, and you will be stunned.
So, okay, so it warns you. Here it comes.
Yes, that is right. You just watched me lose about 50 elo for losing a single game. And this is what I have to deal with.
What?
50...
Wait, what am I missing? I'm so confused. What happened here? Was there a loss in between here? Wait, why is this bar here and then is it here? So he was diamond gonna drop into... I'm so confused.
After losing this game, and you will be stunned.
Diamond 1 to diamond... Wait, diamond 3?
After losing this game, and you will be stunned.
Oh, no, he is diamond 2, dropping to diamond 3. The next game he wins... And he's diamond 3, and then... It was a glitch?
Yes, that is right.
Oh, the clip from takes the first all the way down to 60%. Yes, that's normal. That's volatile. So he'll drop out of diamond 2 into diamond 3 to about here. He just doesn't understand what volatile means. Again, I don't blame him for this.
You just watched me lose about 50 elo.
But surely, like, you have to... Like, even I picked up on this. Like, even I picked up on this because I didn't know what the volatile modifier meant necessarily, but I did go, oh, I lost no SR even though I lost. Like, I just did nothing. So I'm going to get really punished next game. Like, isn't that common sense? Like, isn't that common sense? Like, I literally my bar didn't move for a loss. Gee, I wonder what's gonna, like, there's some, like, I didn't even know that was a thing and I figured it out.
For losing a single game. And this is what I...
I'm not understanding the volatile modifier is understanding, but saying that losing 50 elo and blaming that on the volatile modifier is like crazy. Could you not like correlate that?
have to deal with every single time I play. And
no,
honestly,
not plat in all
I didn't get
roles.
the expected modifier afterwards. You can see with how long I'm sitting on this page for how fucking stunned I am at how low my elo is. And I'm pretty sure I'm actually freaking out in the recording because I am just like sitting here looking at the fact that I just lost 50 SR for being volatile. But to be fair, this is a pretty common occurrence, especially for this account.
Yeah,
essentially, every time I lose, if it's not reversal, it's volatile.
The volatile modifier is saying, hey, buddy, you got rank protection last time. You lost the game and you should have dropped in the next rank, but we kept it for you. So guess what? You lost again? Oh, you jackass. Guess what? You're getting punished for your rank protection the previous turn. Rank protection is volatile is literally like the bank giving you as like a get out of jail free card, but that you have to pay for later on.
And
like technically you kept the same rank, but you're gonna pay for it if you lose again.
Most of the time, but 90% of the time, every time I win, it's expected.
It's just dumb. Like loss protection shouldn't be a thing.
But a lot of you might sit and think, oh, you know what? Actually, these games aren't back to back.
What's funny is they introduced the volatile card to explain why you're getting punished so hard from loss protection. But all it's done is it's created this own little conspiracy theory about what volatile is. It's like actually just made the problem worse.
Well, that is...
Why am I in the Twilight Zone? What's going on, chat? What's going on? What's going on? Like, is it the XP is wrong? Is there some bug with the battle pass? Oh.
And volatile. Fantastic. Interesting. What? Okay, hold your fucking horses. You're telling me when I was Diamond 2, like 10% or whatever I was, and I lost, and I got volatile, you're telling me I lost?
No, he didn't. That's the thing, DVD. I thought that too, but he actually just didn't show the full D rank. He actually just cut the clip, so it made you look like loss protection. I don't think he did it on purpose, honestly. It was an awkward edit. Because if he'd showed like 2 seconds more, he would have shown him D-ranking and losing all the way to here. I agree with you. It's super confusing.
Lost 50 SR. Are we trolling? Are we dead serious? 50. Look at my fucking elo. What?
Or maybe it doesn't even show the D-rank. Like, I don't know, but he was here.
The game won for me. I got a 70.
Oh, where sometimes won't show it. Okay, that makes sense.
I can't rank up.
So it doesn't. So it's more on Overwatch.
Like 4 fucking games for every game I lose because this volatile shit. What the fuck is this?
We're done with this video. Okay, so basically, let me explain. Can somebody link the? Yeah, okay. Let me explain to you guys what this is. Now that I have an idea of what this is, really simple. All right, you want to go find your final answer about what all these things mean. Here we go. You're on a win streak. The game thinks that, oh wow, you were playing really well. You deserve to be higher. If we don't move you higher, you will dumpster lower tier lobbies more. So we're going to increase the quality of games for lower tier players by bumping you up higher, increasing the challenge to your current performance. Nice job. Big kiss on the lips. I don't know how many games before this kicks in. I want to say it's like 4 or 5. It's definitely not 2 or 3. Next thing, oh, you jackass, what the frick is wrong with you? You're worthless. You have no friends. Your mother and I are really disappointed you. In fact, you're not going to college or doing anything. You're going to work at McDonald's the rest of your life and do nothing. You are terrible at this game. We're going to move you down faster so that you stop freaking ruin the higher tier games with the big boys, you worthless waste of space. You smell awful. Get out of here and ruin lower tier games instead. Okay? Calibration. What the frick is wrong with you? We haven't played in a long time, so we don't know if you're really good because you've been playing on an alt account or if you just haven't played Overwatch at all. So we're really not sure about you. You better darn well be focused up because we got the microscope on you, so you better play well. Oh, also, what the frick? Are you smurfing? Is this another one of these alt accounts? You're smurfing, aren't you? You're doing one of those stupid unranked gyms or the freaking Knickerbocker chat. What is the thing? The Nalak? No, what is that stupid challenge where you have to like swap the thing that Cron Drop is doing? Like you're one of those doing one of those smurfing things, aren't you? Nuzlocke, right? You're one of those guys, right? Well, you're not allowed to ruin lower tier games. We're gonna move you up quick. Or oh, maybe you just wait a second. You actually suck. You haven't played this game since 2017. What are you doing here? Get out of here. We're not sure about you, right? The more you play in the count, and the more frequently you play in the count, the more sure the game is where you are in the right place. You weren't favored, but you won. Wow, what the frick? You were a 2,900 SR average team versus a 3,000 SR team. We couldn't like actually make the match much more even than that. We tried, but man, the queues are rough, man. You know what I'm saying? So this is about as good of a match that we could give you. And somehow this team won. So every single player on this team was not expected to win. And you did. So we're going to be a big kiss on the lips. Maybe we were wrong about you. Maybe you are better than we thought. So you know what? Maybe you deserve to be in a higher rank, right? I don't care. Like you deserve the buff there. You were favored and you lost. What the frick is wrong with you, scumbag? How are you the 3,000 SR team losing to 29 SR trash cans? These guys are they're platinum and you lost. What? That is 100 SR lower. You're diamond 5 and they're plat 1. How did you lose that game? Maybe you actually aren't diamond 5. You know what? You're not actually diamond 5. You aren't. You know what? Screw you. You're out of here. You get punished for that. You don't belong here. Stop ruining diamond 5 games, you fraud. Okay? A volatile. This is the new weird thing. Volatile, ignore the stupid thing here. All right? You rank up, you are diamond 5. Here you are, diamond 5. Uh-oh, you lost a game. Wait, no. We'll keep you in diamond 5, buddy. We'll put a steel iron casing on the basement here so you don't fall into plat 1 again. But let's be honest, you are actually plat 1. You were right here and you miraculously lost 5 SR and that lost? No, that's cap, dude. You're actually in platinum 1. This is actually what your bar looks like. We're just hiding this from you, right? Surely you're going to win the next game, right? Surely you're going to win the next game. Oh, you lost again? Screw me, dude. We kept you in diamond 5. We removed 5 SR from you for a loss and you couldn't do better than that? You were awful. You were awful. You know what? Screw it. You lost basically 5 SR. You know what? No, you actually lost 25 SR and you get another loss because you lost 2 in a row. Man, we tried to hide the truth from you, hoping that you could do better and you let us down again. Screw you, man. And don't even complain about, oh, what is volatile? I'm losing 50% because it's 2 games worth of losses, jackass. Do you not know how, did you think that just losing 5 SR was normal? Do you think that's normal? Are you stupid? Are you dense? You know what? You are plat. You are stupid. Never mind. Get out of here. You're not worth my time anymore. Consolation. Hey, buddy, you lost. You suck. But you know what? We didn't really think that you were that good. You know, you were on that 2,900 SR team. We didn't think that you had a chance to actually beat those 3K guys. So you know what? You know, it's not really a surprise that you lost. You know, our expectations were already really low. So are you a 2,800 SR player? Nah, maybe you're a 2,850 SR player, you know, because maybe you could have won that one, but it's honestly not the end of the world. Your mother and I are disappointed, but not surprised. So it is what it is. Okay, expected. Thank you for the $44 donation. I appreciate it. That is very generous.
Plus intelligent, plus inspiring, plus charismatic.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That's a very generous donation. Thank you very much. Everyone say thank you on my behalf, please. I appreciate the donation. Okay. I always forget what that notification is. That's very generous. All right. Last one. Last share. Do I get a share? No, but you have to say thank you for me anyway. Yeah, no problem. Okay. Last one, expected. You were favored and you won. Yeah, okay, listen. You're 3,000 SR teammate. You're beating up on literal children in plat, and you're expecting me to give you a big kiss in the mouth? Bro, you get nothing. You get it 1 McDonald's French fry. Just 1. The bottom of the bag. Actually, the bottom of the bag are the better ones anyway. But yeah, you get nothing, bro. Like, we're not surprised that you won, but what do you want to do? Beat up on children? You know what? That's actually a bad precedent. You know? What if you went out of your way and just beat up on plats all the time? We need to go all the way to Grandmaster? No, that's not how it works. You get less and less and less and less the more expected
expected you were to win. The more imbalanced the team, the more they win if they win, and the less you win if you win. So you were already expected to win. What do you want? Like $1,000? No, you did the bare minimum. You get barely anything. Screw off. Does that make sense? Wait, I thought Overwatch CS was on a break. I thought it was 3:30 PST.
Wasn't the best, right?
Bro, it said 3:30 PT.
Diva and like, you know, you could
Win streak is okay. So this is also good here. So win streak is a threshold, not a number of games won. So like, let's say that you have a lot of expected wins, like like in other words, you won a lot of games, but the game was like, yeah, you have a really high chance of winning all these games because the other team is really bad. Then you might win like 5 or 6 and not get the win streak. But if you win a certain amount of SR, like an amount of a bar, like let's say you get a full bar and a half, I'm just picking a random amount of wins in a row, then that starts the win streak. Something like that, right? So it's more, think of it as a win bar percentage. When you get a certain percentage of the bar filled, maybe a full bar, maybe diamond 4 to diamond 3, and a bar and a half, that's going to start the win streak from going. Okay, it was all explained with ML7 stream with the devs. Okay. But there you go. There's your explanation of what the frick is going on here. Also, was there not supposed to be a break here? What am I smoking? There can even be a loss in between. Okay, that's good to know. So there can be a loss in between. It doesn't have to be all in a row. It's just like a certain percentage over the course of 20 games, you actually went up like a full bar and a half. The game's like, dang, boy, we're impressed with you. Keep up the good work. So you don't have to necessarily win it all in a row, which I like that better because like, you could roll the dice and like, for example, saying that I won 4 out of 5 games that were all equally matched. The fact that it would matter which 4, if you won like 4 in a row, you get more than winning 2 and then losing 1 and winning 2. It's kind of silly, right? You'd want what's the overall percentage of those games that you won. That makes more sense. But why did it say 3:30? I know I saw the break, but I assume that they're going to do some talking and take a longer break. But chat, was it not 3:30 PT? Are they just like go bam, 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 bamming? I mean, I'm fine with that. I guess I just was not expecting that. I thought there was going to be like a normal break. Okay, well, they're just going. Well, there we go. Are these teams any good? Pirates in Pajamas sounds familiar. Well, dang, this entire time we've just been jabbering about nonsense and my voice. Pirates in Pajamas kind of stomping. Okay. Well, we'll take a look maybe here for a second, but honestly, like maybe what we were doing was more interesting if these matches aren't that good. Hey, girl. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, it makes sense. I just thought there was going to be a break between NA and EU and NA, you know? I didn't think there'd be like an actual hour-long or 2-hour-long break between matches. I just thought it'd be like between regions. Mari, hi. She's chilling. Got the window open, so she's enjoying the fresh air. Curtains are kind of billowing. Tiptoe through the tulips, by the window, by the melodies, oh, tiptoe off the tulip with me. What's the cat's name? Amari. And Grimbjorn is somewhere around here. I don't know where he is. Maybe I'll call him and he'll come over. Actually, he's probably in the guest room. Grimbjorn. Grim, come here. Oh, he's over here. Grim, come here. Come here. Sleeping. I don't know if he'll come over. You know cats. Grim, come here. Come here. Come here. Come here, Grim.
I actually like this from Blue Splatoon.
Yeah.
Clearly,
He's
what
coming.
we were doing was not working.
You not like dogs? Dogs are okay. Here, Graham.
Orisa against Maga, and then this is like our first good look at the sim where
Yeah, he came over. Hi.
The ramp is so much faster.
Sometimes though, none of that matters, and your Kiriko just hits a random knife. And headshots.
Good boy. Very, very friendly. Very, very good boy.
You'll take that.
Okay, my headphones unplugged. Malga Orisa, son of a gun. Wait, Bun and Halo. These are calling all heroes players, right? I like the Symmetra stuff. Let's see what the Symmetra stuff. I heard what was it? Was someone saying Korea or Asia was playing some Symmetra? And my cats are good. I think we got good cats. They have a lot of personality and are fun. I don't like being like the cat person, you know. That's why I actually didn't want to get two cats. The only reason we have two cats is because he was left on the side of the road. I really don't want another cat. No, I've just never been a big fan of dogs. Growing up as a kid, I wasn't a big fan. Nice sojourn angle. Wow. Magic Mate Ball, Strider. I know those names. Obviously Magic Mate Ball, but...
Yeah, Beluga's platoon got into a really weird spot there. They got control over the bot first, but just got...
Yeah, I just don't want to be a cat person, you know? Because it ends up, they're just kind of like, they're animals living in your house, but they're not like, they're not really pets, you know?
He's still behind enemy lines. I think there's one more player as well.
This is tough for Bun. She has to contend with Sojourn being very threatening along.
Let's go Beluga.
To play from behind, like in his old sort of Ryan.
I'm going to try using Streamlink, put Twitch over. Stream strictly no capture browser window. Yeah, will you message me in Discord about it? I don't know. I've never heard of that. Ooh, nice stick. Good, really great response from Beluga there. Like, honestly, like that was super nice there. Really efficient use of layering there. Yay. Wow, that was a clean fight win from Beluga.
That's a big difference maker though in that fight. Bun doing well, stay alive there, deployed that ultimate. Pirates of Pajamas. Okay, making a switch to the Symmetra of their own, they're realizing that ramping damage is just far too good to...
I think I realized why I don't like cleanse this as much. Not even Suzu, maybe, I don't know. It feels like, even with like Immortality Field, that feels like there's an opportunity, like it feels like there's a cost, you know? It does a lot of damage, it breaks the lamp, it takes at least another cooldown, if not more, to deal with. It's always disappointing to see like a nice stick like that, and it's just, you know. Yeah, what is Streamlink even for? Oof. Halo getting caught out. Information on my account that I deleted before. I don't know, Ali. It's a good question. I honestly don't know. I feel like there probably the answer would be no, just because it wouldn't make sense if you could just reuse and delete and reuse. Media source, so it should be smoother than window capture. Makes sense. In general, I feel like the Twitch streams have been a little washed out for sure. I think that's more Twitch though than anything else. But you guys kind of see what I'm saying? It feels like there's like this white haze over everything, like a real subtle, like washed out look. Am I the only one who sees that? It's not just the 1080 and the bit rate. It also feels like there's a slight washed out. I feel like Twitch at some point has to up their thing because I don't feel like this is never. I think like Twitch as a whole is just not always the greatest quality platform. Come on, guys. Oh, no. They had that one shoot. They almost had Orisa. That would have been nice. I feel like we're approaching the level where, like, maybe I'm going to sound like a boomer here. Where, like, the video quality is, like, diminishing returns, obviously, for sure. But I feel like beyond 4K... I don't think you really need media needs to be higher. Like I find myself like 1080 is, if it's not like washed out, like 1080 is more than good enough. I don't even need 4K. And we've had 1080 for a long time. Like I wonder how much higher is like the YouTube quality going to get? Like is it even, at what point is it just not even worth the... Ooh. Kitsune dealt with. Orisa ult. Does take a lot of ults though. And this is still losable here. Arista gets in a little bit too juiced. Yeah, no, the 4K is... I think I could definitely see the 4K. It's a little bit trickier, but I could definitely notice the 4K. But it's not as obvious as even like the transition from 720 to 1080, which I guess mathematically makes sense. Oh, Arisa missed the TP. She's going to die. Oh, maybe not. Yeah. Oof. That's good. That's a good one. That's a nice fight win. And they're not in a bad position to win the next fight either. They've got a lot of ults coming up here. A lot of good ones. Beat for beat. They really need that Simmel. If they can get Simmel, they're cooking. 2 fights a win here from really taking lead, I think. Well, no, because he didn't get checkpoint. So maybe. Well, maybe they're pushing the robot here pretty far. Yeah, so this will be 2 fights to checkpoint, or to lead. I think they're playing slow for Sem here, which I think is smart. Just look for pulse. The Sim is basically just... She has the ability to just burn the Malga if you can keep her up. It's the same reason why people are running Reaper, right? But you just have a slightly better ultimate. How good is she? I don't really know, but okay. So they kite out the Kitsune. I probably would have preferred to save the pulse bomb there and then actually push in with it here just to make sure. Sawhill needs to live. They don't have anything for Sawhill. There's the ult. Ooh, they need to kill Malga. Tracer's dead. The beat is late. The sim walls are mirrored. That's worst case scenario for Beluga platform. Oh, man. That one hurts. It's like these devolved fights where they're like the Orisa just dies and then everything kind of falls apart. Orisa is so top heavy around Fortify, man. She's actually so bad versus Malga if she doesn't have Fortify still.
She's up on the high ground there, and one of the players, I believe it's Magic Maypal, the Lucio, gets hit by that sim turret. Like, the damage is pretty good now, and it obviously...
They should win this fight here, but I feel like it's going to take 2 ultimates. I spoke too soon, chat. Because it's oh, wow. Whoa. Because I was talking about, like, how it felt like a lot of these fights have been, like, really messy, and Orisa ult's kind of been thrown in, but, like, wow, that's efficient right there. Holy crap. And crucially here, Pirates of Pajamas got nothing out of that. Like, they didn't even build much Sojourn ultimate.
I just drop those down and let them just go to work, as this should be Beluga's platoon getting the checkpoint.
These are all top 500 plus players, like top 100 players, really. Like top 500. There's a Kitsune Rush. They're going to commit to it. Surprising. I'm surprised. I would have kited that if I was Pirates in Pajamas. They need to try and kill this Malga here. They should be able to kill the Malga. Symmetra. I just don't understand the TP increase so much. So not optimal for Beluga because he would have liked to kill there, but you did get the cap. Orisa needs to be really... Oh, Orisa's not good. Orisa not good. That's Suzu. They need to kite this out. 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 That Orisa ult is not going to be great, but they did get the kill. Whoa! Okay, I was scared there because they should have been... Maybe they saw Cardiac. I did not see Cardiac, but maybe they must have seen Cardiac. Will they be able to get the lead here? I feel like they should. I don't think you can touch this. They can. Symmetra. Orisa's holding Fortify. Javelin spinning. That's Suzu used. They peel on Lucio. The beat is used just to confirm. I don't mind the beat, just to make sure you get lead here. Very important. And that's huge, guys. Let's go, guys. Let's go. Let's go. I'm just pulling for Beluga's platform because I feel like there have to be underdogs here, right?
Yeah, Beluga's platoon has their own Kitsune Rush. Potentially trying to get a full map completion here would be huge in terms of maybe give them a little bit more confidence moving forward.
This is big, guys. Oh, no. You needed a beat here. You needed a forced beat from Pirates. Are they going to try and force this? I think they're going to try and maybe flip the map here. I actually kind of don't mind this. If they're able to live here, this could be big because like they're still in a pretty good position here. And then the Tracer's the one coming back. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Yeah, so the Tracer's back. Here's a Kitsune. Orisa ult, probably. There it is. Pulse Bomb is used. Messy trades here. This is fine for Belugas. I think this is okay for Beluga. This is like not best case scenario because winning is best case scenario. But beat for Kitsune, Orisa for Mauga, Pulse for Pulse. That favors Beluga. Mauga's better than Orisa ult. Beat's better than Kitsune. So then, if they're able to take 2 fights here, which might be tricky, but you have the Symmetra TP, you might be all right. Yeah, Sim Wall soon. This is okay. This is okay. We need to get a fight going here, though. We need to take a fight here. We need to take a fight here. We need to take a fight here. Cart. Oh, that's a lot of cart progress. Even like a little bit of cart progress here. There's 2 seconds. Actually, this is now 1 fight territory now. It's 1 fight territory. So now it must be Sim Wall, and you need beat. Oh, they try to get the Mauga. They try to get the Mauga. There's Suzu. Everyone's in a bad spot. The Sim Wall's shutting down. They need it. Yes. Kitsune Rush, can they TP it? Yes, they get out. Bun's alive. They can give more progress here. There's a fortified beat out now. There it is. Nice, guys. They did it. They did it. Wow. Let's go. Look at that, y'all. All right. That was good. That was good. Nice, guys. Let's go. No 3-0 watch. Yeah, I think Orisa versus Mauga is a tough call. Both are pretty bad. I personally prefer playing Orisa. I enjoy playing Orisa a lot more than Mauga. Just because of like the javelin and such. I think the weapon's more fun to use. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely like pick your poison. Yeah, Orisa is much better versus Mauga than compared to before. The fortified chain was huge. Why is Korea the region with most 3 Overwatch? I don't know. I have not followed a lot of the matches, so I couldn't tell you. Might be a roster thing. No idea. That's gotta be. I mean, is this a calling all heroes team? I don't have to be patronizing here, but I am excited for these guys. Like winning a map of a name like Magic 8-Ball, you know, that's gotta be cool. Maybe Pirates of Pajamas aren't that good. I honestly don't know. I'm so out of touch. I know Bun and Halo, Pastel. Maybe I'm being patronizing. Unintentionally.
Yeah, and it feels like all you need the Orisa to do is just live, right? Live and allow the sim to just charge up, right? And
why does Summer feel so hard to play? Because she is. She's very punishing. There's mechanics, there's positioning, there's decision making, there's the utility. Don't make Symmetra meta. Yeah, I think Symmetra is a little dull, but there are worse heroes.
That one is the obvious one, of course, but forces Stone to play out of like effective line of sight for healing purposes.
Okay.
To push through that, which is pretty dangerous.
You guys want to do some mass Spilo? Let's do some. Because that's something that we can do between maps, for sure. Oh, it's a long story. Let's do some mass Spilo because we're super behind. I always fall behind. Like it inevitably happens that like I like don't do it for a while and then just like zoom. So we'll do at least some between maps here. Do you think a Sojourn decided to be aggressive when this no threat being punched applies to all mobility? Yes, 100%. Any type of that's what makes mobility like so good in my opinion, is that mobility is inherently a dynamic. It's inherently dynamic. Like there isn't a mobility in the game that I can think of that doesn't have the opportunity to allow you to take more aggressive positions or use it defensively. Like, is there a mobility in the game that isn't dynamic? I think they're all dynamic. They all have the opportunity to be. So yeah, I'm a big fan of that. Lightweight Discord modding. No, because you could use teleporter. The fact that you have the mobility to take more aggressive positions, but I see what you're saying. Reaper teleporter, no. Hey Merlin. a rework teaser for Wrecking Ball? They've already said that they were talking about. Oh, are you saying about like what they did with the Wrecking Ball rework? I don't know. Casserole is probably the weakest, but still useful, right? The casserole is the same thing. You can be used offensively or defensively, right? Wow, which one do you think is the largest skill swing at the highest level? Probably DPS. What do you think is the lowest skill for? Probably. Ooh, that's a tough one. I don't know what is the lowest skill for. Maybe a support. Depends. Maybe support. Maybe a support. But support's even hard to say. I feel like support has like the lowest skill-ish floor once you understand the fundamentals of the game and like have like halfway decent mechanics. You could do more with it in support. But it's kind of hard to say. Like the same could be said for DPS as well, and like certain tanks. I don't know. It's hard to say. I really think like the lowest skill floor is like more of a hero thing rather than a role thing. What's your understanding of Arista's sick back? We already cops those. Let's chunk. Yeah, tank holds angle. Bat pockets tank. Iliari takes angle +1, so DPS +1 herself. It's not super viable though because it's super slow, and it's also it's ult. It's like it's actually vulnerable to snipe because the thing is it's like it's super slow, and it's not very good versus sniper comps. So ask yourself, in what circumstances would you run a super slow poke comp that's weaker to sniper comps? You know, like that, like it's not many situations that you would run that, right? And weaker to sniper comps because Iliari's range is like not as good as like the Widow and Hanzo's and Sojourn Rails and stuff like that. So it's like it's weird. Like when it was played a lot, it was like a very niche circumstances, very niche meta. It was played like in like Flashpoint and stuff, but like generally nowadays, like Lucio comps are just so much better. How old are you? 29. Yeah, you can run it. It's more of like a counter comp than it is like a counter like what's it announcements? Flying waves. Wait, but it's not cropped. She didn't even spell disappoint correct. Maybe that's the whole point. What do people mean with getting comfortable with being uncomfortable? Does it mean you just can't? Can you just feel awkward around people most of the time? Does it mean you shouldn't feel scared? Yeah, it's mostly about just like don't be scared of like stepping outside of your comfort zone because it means that you're always learning and expanding yourself. Like it's basically the idea is don't let feeling ignorant bother you as much. The idea is that you will feel less uncomfortable the more outside of your comfort zone that you step. The more often that you do that. So you're learning new things and it becomes, like not so much of a scary thing to learn a new skill because you've done it so many times before. Fossil. Shut up, dude. Favorite metalcore song, album, band. Ooh. I think Invent Animate is a good shout. And I think, oh man, what would I say here? Bring Me the Horizon has some good moments as well. A fun little one for you, Alexa. Invent Animate. Here we'll go through this one, Alexa. I think Carry On Kid from Worthwhile is a tiny little gem that I dug out, which is really unique. I like that one. I think Under Oath has a lot of good stuff. Everchanger from Invent Animate is really good. I recommend checking that one out. Graveview is also excellent from them. They have a lot of their stuff is so good instrumental as well. There's like instrumental versions of all their songs, really good. Lost the Sound of Separation from Under Oath is a classic. This is a classic of Mice and Men album. It's pretty repetitive, but it's classic. That's their first one. Classic one from Asking Alexandria. A lot of songs in there that I'm like, not a huge fan of, but the overall vibe is like pretty good. But yeah. Next match started. Thank you.
The Blues platoon in practice was the far more compelling one.
Of Mice and Men is like find a couple of songs you like from them, and there you go.
So maybe you feel like
no worries.
They're not going to push in here for a little bit.
Point control here. Sem wall, Sem turrets, Sojourn. I like Beluga Splatoon's comp. I feel like Pip should be playing Kiriko Tracer with Sombra. I don't think the Reaper makes much sense at all.
actually starting to
when they're on Orisa and all this poke DPS. Hack on the Orisa. She doesn't even get a chance to fortify. That stinks.
TP used to get Blue Splatoon out of danger here. Again, in theory, a better sideline for Sojourn, but very quickly that's going to be interrupted by Strider.
And now they're just staggering. They needed to disengage faster.
You get 70% on the point. Is Pastel not able to make
I think current DPS pass could have fixed the Goats problem in Overwatch 1. Great question.
Where the biggest thing there is like the amount of pressure they put on Sawhill, right?
No, but I don't know for sure. I think maybe if it had been paired with other things, yeah, that's a great question.
To get the Orisa out with their life, but
That's a great question. No, I don't think it would have made Goats better. It definitely, clearly, especially exclusively for DPS. And sustain is what made Goats strong, right? Not just the tankiness stack, but also sustain. So slide in for beeps.
Trying to cut through some of that sound barrier health. Halo has the latest sound barrier. Will they have a chance to make good use of it here? Again, the Pirates in Pajamas flip the point back and then disengage.
What if Hack Interrupted Fortify? That'd be awful. Great sim wall. Wow. Wow.
Halo can come in with a sound barrier and they do. That is beautiful.
A little, I don't know if I would have liked both ultimates stacking there, the Beat and the Orisa ult, but that wasn't bad. The question is are they going to be able to... They're going to be able to touch with Cole, I think. Sombra's going to touch. You can't push up here. Sombra's going to touch. I think they're trying to spy check. They need to chase and kill Sombra. They need to even consider giving Flip here. Get her, get her, get her, get her. Nice, they got her. Nice, that was really well played by Blue Splatoon. I can even give Flip here. They're down 2. They just dodged it. Oh no, a 3v5. That's Cardiac though. That is Cardiac. If they could pocket this... Can they kill? They need one more kill here to lock this away. On anybody. Orisa's not going to be able to get back in time. Ah, no. That was really well played by both teams. That was really enjoyable to watch, that shuffle. Yeah, I think that they should have just let them have cap. I think they could have waited out the Maga meta, or the Maga ult, just a little bit longer. And maybe, honestly, rotated to the other side. Maybe like a rotation. But that was tough. That was well played by both sides. Is my conclusion correct that when you can play on a high ground and still be in range, you should basically always want to on Sombra? Depends. No, Shanghai and Chengdu did not get Goats out of meta. They were better at it, but no, Goats was still meta. I think there's like this revisionist history, but Goats was still very strong. Goats was still the optimal meta. Oh no, Halo gets hit.
Yeah, this will be a checkpoint that'll go to Pirates in Pajamas here.
Is Sim better than May this mid-season patch? I don't know. It's a good question. Not sure. I think both are pretty close. Sim's pretty good. Maybe not great, but okay. I still think that Symmetra is always going to have some issues as long as she doesn't have her 2-tap. I talked about this yesterday. Have you ever considered if there should be an Overwatch dictionary, so to speak? Oh, wow. The beat engage there was really good. They ate. It is crazy to me that you can manual hack Orisa ultimate. Overwatch dictionary. Nah. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe down the road. I don't know. I think stuff like Overwatch dictionary is like, how many players would that actually help? You're gonna try May? Ah, see, there it is. There's the Sombra Tracer, y'all. I was asking about that earlier. I'm glad they went. May Tracer, I think, is a good response from Beluga. What does layering even mean help? Look up the lasagna video. If you have any questions after watching it, then we can talk. Look up the lasagna video. Look up layering on layers Overwatch or whatever on my channel. You'll see a lasagna thumbnail. They have to use an ult here, like, eventually.
Pulse here has to land. I don't feel like this is...
Soilhill gets back to safety. Beat from Halo. It kept him going for a little bit longer, but will it be enough? Strider was taken down. A trade of main support for main tank. Probably happy with that. But the May is down. Bun has been removed. Recall forced there by Stone.
Well, at least the MP is forced.
That might be the decider. You're not coming back for that one. No way.
I think that's something that would get Calypso not helpful that much. The dictionary thing? Yeah. It's like one of those things that like people are like, oh, it's so educational. It changed my way that I viewed Overwatch, but doesn't actually help them win games.
Because like the damage before, you were really just
You know what I'm saying?
focusing on directly what was in front of you.
I think there's a lot of resources like that that are like, oh, it's so educational. I have all these tips available, but like it doesn't actually help you win games.
Right? Trying to use spear, spin, fortify, and as we've seen on previous maps,
Maybe that's just me.
as soon as the armor of the Orisa falls,
I think there's a couple of examples out in the educational community of stuff that's like, it's just like, it doesn't really do anything.
Strider makes his presence.
No, that was awkward.
Halo somehow getting picked off there. I think
Is that just a Spilo turn? Kinda, sort of.
that was a team effort. Make no mistake.
It's the reason why it's a big part of the reason why the Lund Spitfire did well in the Junker Queen meta, thanks to yours truly.
Nigh unassailable late in these flashpoints.
yeah, you're playing like historically dive damage dealers here for Pirates in Pajamas, going with the
Remind me after this match, and I'll pull up the video that I'm talking about.
match this, but instead
One of the most fun, important concepts in macro Overwatch.
Orisa is it's going to be a hack on a Soilhill, trying to use the Terror Surge.
I feel like the Terra Surge probably should just go honestly to like Moira, Lucio, or whatever, Sombra or something. Like, I'm sure that's what they're actually trying to do. Oh no, Sahil doesn't get beat. Is there a dearth of resource how to diagnose what you need to improve on? Yeah, that's true. That is, to be fair, one of the hardest skills. And I don't know if you can accelerate that growth.
But they can afford to drop a fight here if they can build some big old.
You should refer to a list of core Overwatch concepts that would be helpful to understand. Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's a fair point, yeah.
Be careful though, right? You use the rush, you push in behind it, and
Kitsune.
right with a charge, right on through it, land down, big damage, and then those flankers can follow up, maybe even with an EMP.
Pulse from Pastel, I think, was meant for Strider. Takes them low, but really.
Do they make the Sombra swap here, which I don't even hate actually. I really don't like the Mei versus the Malga all that much. Especially on the map like this, way too open for me. So in theory, Beluga Splatoon is like has a decent concepts here.
Maybe you decided like hey,
Layers video, thank you, Corpu. There you go.
because you have an idea that there's no sound barrier yet on the
That's one of the most important macro team-oriented videos you will ever watch, if I do say so myself.
It's a long way to get back
Top
to
2 or
this
3.
point. This next fight kicks off, it might be 60%.
If you're playing in a team, scrimmaging in a team, you need to watch that video.
Pirates, they want to end it.
Crucial.
Chronic positioning there just for a.
And it's tragically, it's very similar to the push-pull stuff, really.
But only two get caught by it.
Oh no, Halo.
Focus down on Halo. So player advantage, Terror Surge.
That's a big Orisa hold, actually. Oh no, did he get hacked again? Like, what happened there?
EMP'd for a time.
Oh!
Comes in after, so that ultimate completely shut down. And
Oh, knife's edge, man.
compromised in that moment as well. 3 on the point here for Pirates in Pajamas. They do flip.
Oh, they didn't hit the pulse. That's unfortunate.
Hoping to try and put Soilhill in an awkward position, but what? It's a Tracer, Moira, Lucio. Not enough to construct a winning strategy with here. Staying alive is all they can really afford to do, and even that might be.
Wow, they're actually going to win this?
Yeah, I mean, staying alive almost is a worst case scenario, right? Because you're.
Yes, I mean this video. Why not Reaper?
They lost the Orisa just as the bit came through. Halo wasn't able to keep Soilhill up. That is devastating.
Reaper is okay here. I just think Reaper's old game really falls off. And I think that like with this broad of a map, I think that having something like a Tracer could be really useful. Like you guys forget that the last time we had a meta like this, like with Sombra and Moira and Reaper and stuff, Tracer did not have the same level of damage that she has now. Like the Tracer has more damage, like just straight up damage, more damage than she's ever had, right? So like you might find in these hybrid dives comps, like these hybrid brawl dive comps, that Tracer's actually played a lot more.
Stone would be the first to the point with a pulse bomb in hand.
Like, is Reaper better? Maybe. But Tracer's more competitive with Reaper than she has been in the past.
And again, forcing a translocate reposition there on that high ground. Otherwise, it would be an environmental kill. Pulse, that's scary. Magic Mabel going to hold on to the sound barrier though, and everybody benefits.
Oh, nice eat with the pulse one there.
Time, though, from Stone gets cut to pieces by the javelin spin.
That's not terrible for Beluga. They got the MP out.
It will be another Pirates.
Yeah.
To start.
So it's not that like Reaper's not good. I think Reaper could be really good in this matchup, but like it's actually like this Tracer provide more. It also depends on hero strengths because I was talking about this like with Overwatch on Thursday, it's like you gotta have the Reaper gene. Like, Tracer's been a much more meta hero at this level for a while, or at least for a decent amount of time. Whereas Reaper is like a character that's like flashes in the meta, and you either have it or you don't with Reaper. When was the last meta like this, particularly? Like the Brawl meta with Lucy with Sombra? Probably 2020? With Winston Diva, I think?
Well, it works. They get 4.
Oh, they need to get the kill there. They do. Nice.
I don't think that's going to be nearly enough to give Pirates and Pajamas a fighting chance here. There's no good targets. The only one playing on the point is really Soil on this Orisa. Everyone else playing
nice, guys.
Extremities here. That's a really nice set play from Beluga's platoon. Not a moment too soon, might I add.
Yeah, got them to use their Coalescence, right? So Coalescence comes out for Pirates and Pajamas. And he gets
Reaper's better than the Magomir, but Tracer's better otherwise. I think even that might be map situational, but you're probably right. You thought maybe a video scrimmage and what you do if you're trying to get better as a team. Yeah, I've thought about like overall improvement goals. Lexa, will you put that in content suggestions ideas in my Discord though, will you? What do you think is better, NA or MEA? Probably EMEA, probably. But I'm not familiar with the scrim box.
Looking to put tons of pressure here on the Sawhill.
Strider obviously having a late line of sight and still contest. Great stick.
We'll have to see it. That's a cheap fight win right there. As long as they don't get traded here, they're going to try really hard to trade there. Sombra's not the worst character here to have traded. Oh man, Kiriko dies too? That's no good though. That's no good. They actually are going to have to back off here.
Looks like potentially Pirates and Pajamas they will.
They did get the Sombra Translocator out, so that's good.
You have both supports, but not look like it's in a good spot, right?
So, Beluga's okay now. Kiriko, there it is. Give flip. Let it go. Break the thing. Break the thing. There it is. It's broken. Now we walk forward. There it is.
Chronic waiting here, seeing Bun and Co just poking, playing again off the point entirely. Luke's platoon allowed to be.
I might even try to look for an Orisa ultimate here and just use my to force the EMP. You know what I'm saying?
I was gonna say that's the problem. The longer this goes, you're gonna be like in this.
Well, I guess they were waiting for their own beat for beat. Orisa ultimate. Ooh. Oh no, guys. Oh no. Oh, chat. Brud, man. What a game. That was actually fairly entertaining.
To build their EMP of their own, to have this disengage from Beluga's platoon, a stumble there from the team that was trailing. There was a real
what a match.
Oh, absolutely. Beluga's platoon, I think they had their EMP. Bun had the EMP.
Yeah, that was pretty good. That was a good one.
On the opposite side.
That was good. That was good. I guess we could do some more top 5 metal bands. I kind of already talked about that earlier, so you can go back and look at my other question there. Well, to Alexa. Yeah, I think waiting for EMP there might have been a mistake. I think probably forcing them. I don't know. I think it was okay. I think the idea of what they did was fine. I would just look more into like how it was executed. You know. What are the different goals for hit scan DPS versus flex DPS? Just hit scan heroes and flex heroes. That's all. There's no like real goals. Like hit scan heroes and then flex DPS heroes. Flex DPS heroes are basically just projectile heroes plus a flanker. Generally Tracer or Sombra. Like Tracer is like a must, basically. And then hit scan characters are just basically hit scan characters. That's it. Like it used to be back in the day, like hit scans generally needed to play. Can we just remove the activity, please? I don't want to see activity cards. Okay, I need to look at that later. I don't want to see activity cards. This is so stupid. But yeah, generally hit scan players used to play Hanzo, but that hasn't been the case for a long time. If the Genji reflects a Widow or Kiriko bullet, does he get the critical modifier or use his own? He gets them. I think he gets their critical modifier. Yeah, it has to do with the bullet being fired, right? Spilo's top 3 favorite dishes overall. Top 3 favorite dishes that I can actually cook. Pepper, what are the top 3 dishes overall? Yeah. Homemade pizza. Biscuits were pretty good. Yeah. Favorite dishes overall. I mean, nachos are pretty good. Nachos are pretty good. Nah, no. My favorite, not the soup. Not the soup, Chad. Yeah. Yeah. That was what I would say. Maybe, yeah, something like that. The homemade fries are really good. Homemade fries are really good. I haven't had a lot of stuff though, so Wingstop for sure. Yeah. I think console and overall involves more games than the PC. No, I don't think so. I just think that you're more limited with what you can do in all aspects. Lasagna is okay. Yeah, the gluten-free lasagna is not as good. Yeah, it's true. On the inception of Overwatch 2, you had a prediction concerned that BAPS kit wasn't cohesive with the transition. What concepts or patches do you think what concepts or patches do you think we weren't able to account for? I talked about this yesterday on the Group Up podcast. I think the whole concept of like how we would need to have some sort of modifier for tanks to be affected less by debuffs because there's removal of one tank, I think is something I was not anticipating as much. So like, everything kind of dumps on the tank. I think I did not give that enough attention because at the pro level, people weren't doing that as much because it wasn't good Overwatch at the pro level, but it's good psychology. You just see what I'm saying? Like, I needed to anticipate that it was going to be more of a tank dump, even though it wasn't good at the pro level. So that's something I did not anticipate. I'd say for the most part, my predictions were overall pretty accurate. And see, this is where I just disagree. At any percentage, isn't just sat on tank. I think it's just too tunnel vision. Like you're telling me that a half the weakness of a Discord on a tank is going to be always the play, even when a Zenyatta is shooting at somebody that has a 20% Discord. Like you have to understand that the value of Discord is it breaks is all about breakpoints. It's breakpoints. If you takes one fewer shot because a target is discorded, whether it's a tank or a support, it's irrelevant. The reason why Discord on tank is more of a problem is because of ease of application and ease of access, because the tank is in general often more aggressive. It's not always the case, but it's often the case. So it's all about breakpoints. It's always breakpoints. More effective versus armor and blocks. Right, exactly. So you would need to tweak the way it's effective versus armor and blocks and ease of application, but fundamentally, Discord is absolutely balanceable around tanks. Absolutely balanceable. Do you think like any OWCS teams are considering preseason 9 patch, building rosters? I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I think the only thing you could say here is like some of the characters that were immediately shot up, like the Tracers and so on. But I think like if you're just now being surprised at Tracer being good in Overwatch at the professional level, then you kind of deserve to get screwed over because like that's been the case for such a long time. Yeah, no problem. Hardest tank to climb medal ranks right now. Is it Reinhardt? I don't know. I think it probably is going to be like what's the weakest, like you just need to ask yourself, like, what's the weakest character in Overwatch right now? At least at the time of this question. And certainly not Reinhardt. Reinhardt apparently does quite well in low ranks. Easy value, pretty consistent ultimate, and so on. Doesn't always feel good, but from what we know, it actually does quite well. I'm not sure. It's a new season, which means I'm looking for a new hero pool. Which is considered for the season? A little bit of an old question. Sorry, Alexa. I missed it. What's up with somebody for pros become coaches, become tank players? Probably just more cerebral approach to the game. And a lot of them, the tank players in Overwatch 2 really demands some level of communication. So it kind of thins the herd. If you can't communicate, you generally can't tank. And if you can't communicate, you can't coach. So that's often the similar shared skill pool. Is Bro thinks therefore he is still your new favorite? Maybe. Is the basics should be working about as a bronze DPS hit scan player, positioning, off angles, target section, and trigger discipline? Sure, that's fine. I would say beyond that, I'll take a careful look at my, even more important than all these things, I'd be looking at my play schedule, like, my warming up, how's my mentality, am I getting enough sleep, how's my like relationship with competitive and the game as a whole, and not unhealthy or spending too much time and so on. And then once you're like, okay, those are okay, then I would first start off with positioning, like taking off angles and timing. And then obviously, yeah, stuff like target selection and so on is good too. But like in season month, there's a primary dive tank place with possible scale and getting Julian fault from deep in this case, which was something like just did you go next, right? Did you go next? Remember the indirect value of just pressuring the target is still value in of itself. What are you adding more channel point rewards? Not sure. That's a long-term goal. I think right now, like we have like the roast to highlight stuff, which is the big one. And then like the Amari Pepper cameo and so on. But yeah, the channel points are kind of woefully underused. But I think in general, it's kind of a tricky thing to cash in on because the problem is that the good channel point rewards are often very limited with when I can use them. I mean, how many times have I delayed roast my highlight? Like I feel like half the time when roast the highlight is cashed in, I can't do it at that moment, which I think is like an inherent problem with streamers that aren't doing just chatting all the time. It's because if I'm doing something, I can't do the channel point thing, right? So then either have these useless channel points or then they're fun, but I can't always do them all the time. When do you think do you think there should be a ban system Overwatch like other MOBAs? I don't know. I think that would be definitely something to try. I don't know if that would be 100% successful and solve all the problems, but if we have like another like major season 9 shakeup or something like that, or maybe like a quick play hacked thing, maybe a ban system is something worth a try. I still appreciate the response though. What is meta, Alexa? Yeah, that sounds good, Lexa. That sounds good, Lexa. I would do what you're doing right now. Just like cycle through different characters and see if there's anyone that stands out that your team needs or that you actually enjoy. Like if you're like, hey, I've spent 15 hours on every character and like make that a mission, you know, see how it goes. Magic Mate Ball. Have you seen the ball comp with Zen Lucio? Yes. Can you? This is obviously early season 9. Can you explain to me why that is played and how it works? Well, season 9, ball was buffed a lot indirectly because he was not really hurt by the projectile changes because he was already easy to shoot and you didn't really headshot him anyway. And then obviously having lower healing heroes like Zenyatta, Lucio be good makes ball better because he doesn't need healing anyway. Also, he benefited a little bit from the heal passive. So basically you have a low heal support, high utility support backline with flankers like Tracer and Sombra and Genji that they can support, and you play Overwatch. That's it. Your ball looks to set up dives, you know, your Tracer marking angles and Genji marking angles and Zenyatta trying to keep himself alive and DPS stuff down and so on. Your job as Lucio is either to peel off your Zenyatta if he's under pressure or to go help your flankers and make your own plays. Determine the interval of convergence of the Maclaurin series of cosine over x. That is 3.5 depending on the status of the integer, ranging anywhere from 1 to 2.5 if we're utilizing the Laurent principle. It's not something that they teach you in school. Not enough anyway. Okay. How would you go about balancing Hanzo? We talked a little bit about this broken by design, broken by concept. I recommend checking out the Spilo coaching VOD, Spilo 2 VOD from it. It's time-stamped on Spilo 2 from a couple days ago. I think we talked about like how I actually had this discussion with the Group Up podcast yesterday. Unsalted Salt had this idea of like, what if we gave Hanzo like different arrows that have like different functions, like a shock arrow or explosive arrow or a fire arrow. Like I think that's probably the best way to go into it is like, because it feels very difficult inherently to have an induction-based character that can't, or at least have the threat of a one-shot. Thoughts on the Bad Batch? I've seen parts of it. It's all right. I don't think it's S tier. It's okay. Who's my favorite junk player? You. Nuva Bionicles or OG? Probably OG. I used to love Nuva, but I think like going back to the original designs felt much more unique. And I think the Nuva Bionicles moved into more homogenized design, which I wasn't as much of a fan. Hey, Suji. What's up, man? How are you? How's the team going? Why do you not like using win condition and what would you replace it with? Win condition, I don't know. Maybe it's just one of those trite terms that I don't like all that much. I don't know why I don't like it. I think it's just it's overused. It's like tempo. It's like it's not that it's an inaccurate thing. It just gets overused and it's trite and like it's like an annoying itch. It's an irrational hatred maybe. Nice dude. Nice dude. What do you guys? What's how's the meta going? I guess I would ask what y'all are playing, but I don't know if that's something you guys want to leak or not. But obviously, you know, streaming scrims. But what are y'all playing? How to Tracer with ball as a tank? What? Oh, with ball as a tank. My win risk is with him, without him. And pay attention to when he's going in, assist him. The one thing with ball is you have to understand is that his ins and outs are frequent, right? So he's not always engaged or always disengaged. So you need to be like more cautious because occasionally with ball as a tank, you will be the primary tank for a second, and then the ball will come back in afterwards. So it might be that you're hard committing when the ball is in, like you're playing with a Winston. And in reality, like he's going to be out in 2 seconds, but then he's also going to be back in. Whereas a Winston's going to be all in or all out. Ball is much more gray. What, you don't like tempo tank? I just don't like the word tempo. It's like a catchphrase, you know? Spilo's taking soda drinks. I don't mind carbonated drinks. I like carbonated drinks, but I don't like I don't really drink soda. Yeah. I haven't had a soda in a long time, maybe a decade. But like carbonated ginger beer, you guys saw that earlier. It's pretty good. I used to like the Zevia drinks for a while. I ended up not liking them as much. I think their flavor is kind of meh. But there's some carbonated stuff that I like. Yeah, huge buzzword. You go to the right application, right? Favorite ones. I think cream soda, root beer, and ginger beer are like good classic ones. I've had some other like fruit sodas, which are freaking amazing. There was like a thing that Disney used to have. I don't know if they have it anymore, where they have like the sodas from across the universe or across the world. And there was like freaking watermelon soda or like peach soda or something like that from like Africa or something like that. And I was like, oh my gosh, it was amazing. It was so good. But yeah. Thoughts in kombucha. Good for you. I just don't do it a lot. Stronger the better with ginger beer. I agree. Are these good matches coming? Have I missed bangers? There's been some fun ones. I wouldn't say there's been any bangers yet, although I missed the first couple. So you'd have to ask chat. I only caught like the last, 2.5? It's fun to focus with the 12. Yes. See lots of different comments being played right now. What is the current meta? Okay, this is outdated, so sadly. Sorry, mate. I feel I'm pushing what is asking a question or asking advice. Lexa, you're killing me. This is a picture of me. I've written down starting comments. Oh, we already did this, Lexa. That's right. We did this. Never mind. Oh, I dodged a bullet there. Would you recommend watching Widow moves? Yes. Yes. I think we've already crossed that road, but yes. How's Spilo's coaching scheduled, whether it's streamed or private? It should be done through the website. The website should be able to do it correctly. It's NA matches right now? Yes. We're about to go back in live, y'all. Are there any guides for how to place Kiriko's ultimate? Like every team where they are. I would just use it for any space where that is actually important for you. Either a space that the enemy team cannot disengage, or even if they do disengage, it's very valuable for you to control. That's the way I would look at it. How many questions do we still have here? Oh my goodness gracious. I must be really far behind because I've been cranking through these already. All right, well, we'll maybe go back and we'll do some more here.
Matchup Shikigami, like you mentioned.
I don't find this match as interesting though. I know Dawn Twist. I feel like Abyss sounds familiar as well, but maybe I'm coping. I think it's somebody in my Discord. Never mind. So maybe we'll do a little bit of this, but if this turns into just kind of a Sombra Reaper, Kiriko, Moira, we might actually just do Ask Spilo and call it here. Okay, fair enough, Lexa. So Sombra Reaper, again, like you have off-angle control, but crucially you have like characters that are really, really good in the Malga trade. Reaper's really, really good in neutral. Sombra's fine in the neutral, but Sombra's like really got the really, really strong ult game plus off-angle control. The Kiriko versus Moira just means more brawl, brute force control on main. Whereas Kiriko is going to have like Suzu and all that kind of stuff for hack. But more importantly, like Kiriko is going to provide support to Reaper. And Malga, that's from multiple off-angles. Like Moira doesn't have that pressure. Yeah, nobody wants the point because anyone who's on point means that they lose the fight on main. Because the problem with the Reaper Sombra, like there's the point pressure and they walk forward here. The problem with point pressure is that, oh, that was a huge boop there. Oh my gosh, the EMP. It's not enough though. That's tragic. They're gonna actually commit here. Reaper off the map. Thunder popping off. Oy. War of attrition, to say the least. What do you got, Thunder? When is the next scouting report? Tuesday. Is the soft plan, but we will play it by ear. I'm not locking myself into scouting reports. If I'm interested in a team or if I'm interested in a meta, I'll do a scouting report. If I'm not, I won't. We'll play it by ear. It also depends on like Overwatch scrim schedule because I end up generally having to miss scrims for it, so we'll play it by ear.
Daybreak having some fantastic moments in their previous engagement, ones that would have led you to think they were winning the fight.
Yes, now we'll see Daybreak.
And also our scouting reports in general are going to be a little bit more surface level. Mostly they're more like match reports than anything else, which is why I'm generally going to try to prefer... Yeah, they're just brute forcing the rotations here. I don't know if there's a solution there. I don't know if you can you just go to point? Like, do you take too much damage? Because when you're running the Moira Lucio, I don't know if you can support an off angle as easily. Does Scouting Report help with Overwatch coaching? Not really, no. No, it's just exclusively for content and helping out teams that want to watch the Scouting Reports. Toronto the best team you've seen so far? Man, that's hard to say. I have not watched a lot of Toronto stuff. I knew they were struggling a little bit in scrims, but I think it was more to do with them trying to force the dive stuff. So I'm not sure.
Where do you go, really? You play back inside your own sport. Murray, she couldn't get away. That's it. It's about done here, Matt. We'll have Shikigami push up, hold this room. Maybe some back-capping pressure from Daybreak, but it's unlikely they'll be able to put together anything more than that.
Yeah. I think early on in these deciders, they're still going to be trimming some of the fat here. I mean, I don't know. I'm not familiar with these teams, but I do think that there's a lot of teams here that there's a pretty big gap here. I've seen a lot of like Overwatch League names, and then I just see like, oh, I've literally never heard of that person ever.
Shikigami, let's take a look here. Some of these boots. Oh, no,
In a tier 3 players? Yeah, makes sense. We're going to have to watch Malgameta for a long time, you think? I don't know. I feel like a hotfix is going to come in. I think a hotfix, if this, people are very vocal about hating Malga. Last time this happened, there was a hotfix. It would have been even faster if it wasn't for the holidays. So I anticipate a hotfix like within a week or so. So we'll see. I'm also curious to see if players like end up experimenting more and figuring out better comps, because I really feel like there's not really been much of an experimentation phase, because Malga is not as strong as he was prior. Like it's definitely not as strong as he was before. Like he's pretty strong, but like he's not as strong. So why is Malga better than Ram or Doom? Just the patch. It's the overhealth from his cardiac. It's the small DPS passive nerf. It's the slam buff is a big one. All the little things. Solid players? All right. I know Dawn Twist. That's a slow peak there. That was not a good peak right there. Your Malga just is going to die. Like you can see the problem there. 3, 2, 1, they all peak out of a choke one at a time. And so by the time that the Reaper like actually peaked, the Malga was already half HP. Like that's just poor team play. And honestly, they should be rotating to point. There's no way they should be brute forcing high ground there. You have all those characters that can rotate easily. You should at least bait high in the rotate to point. That's not good. I just think there's just like a clear level of play here. I don't know. The level of play of across the board here is kind of hard to watch. I don't know if we're going to watch the next round here. I think we'll just do Spilo. Like, they just kind of like stood there and got EMP'd, so I don't know.
And again, it's so efficiently done. What do they do? Spend an EMP for that? That's going to really bode well further down the track.
Like watching Overwatched.
Yeah, where longest defensive capability outside of the cardiac overdrive.
That's a joke.
Body like Roadhog.
Kind of.
Like just taking up space is it's gonna be Shikigami trying to get a fight on the point here because you have Rush plus Death Blossom.
Oh my goodness gracious. Oh, they at least hit for the EMP. There you go, Thunder.
Daybreak still able to get both of their support ultimates running though. I mean, if that's not enough to keep them in this fight, then nothing will be.
Yeah.
Shikigami lean into that ultimate chest. Daybreak make use of what they had saved so far. And so we're left with 2 Death Blossoms.
Yeah, and I kind of like the idea there for Shikigami, right? Drop down to the point. Hey, look at, we'll trade support ultimates. We have an EMP advantage.
Well, they've learned their lesson. At least they're rotating the point here.
The map, and then once they use those ultimates, they did a great job speeding in and following it up.
You should just run. I don't know why they're rotating like slowly like that. They should just use your run.
She's just so weak already, taking so much damage on the way in.
Gets lit up again straight away. Double Death Blossom here. It's 9 Echo. Unfortunately, Fujitsu.
Do we know who coaches these sims? No, I have no idea. Probably on Wikipedia though, right?
A path through Daybreak here. This might be yielding the map in a few moments. There's not much really left for Daybreak outside of this EMP.
That's the map. Then I don't even know if they're gonna get a good touch. Hey, they've already scouted the Sombra. She's dead.
Melophobia gets on the point, has the EMP, but because they're forced to trigger OT, ends up staying up a second too long and falling.
Wow.
And again, you got hit by the Malga.
That's unfortunate. Let's do some Spilo. We'll do a couple more questions. I would grapple and ask questions really when I ask for the rest of my thought. I asked you once if you thought Widow was one of those heroes that aged poorly in Overwatch 2 because they lack dynamics, and you agreed. I think the dynamic you gave me was between a CCTV playstyle and a pick-oriented playstyle. The CCTV play controlling space, covering an area, getting value, threatening kills, and important points. Matt, pick-oriented playstyle being the almost opposite, not letting your presence be known, not threatening, just going at an angle, avoiding the tank, looking for a pick, who's only getting 1-2 shots off before repositioning. I just watched your Hammer Time, the Lucio video, in which you talked about hero dynamics, and again listed video Widow's a bit that I wondered. Somehow saying Widow had no dynamics sat wrong with me this time. I came to the conclusion that her dynamics are between strong but known position and surprising but limited positions. I don't want to call the second one more dangerous position. The next play just the same as you, just call it in my own terms. There's still 3 questions. In a casual environment, people usually talk about aggressive versus passive Widows. Is that also just the same thing? It depends. Yes, I would say generally sure. Could the terms be more inaccurate? How would grapple dynamics of it using it as an escape tool versus using it as a repositioning surprise will fit into this? Exactly how you think. You usually use it to get as a bit of surprise factor from the other, and the open door leads you to escape more. Yeah, exactly. Like you use it for CCTV to get more picks options because you're already positioned safely enough to where you don't need to reposition all that much. But keep in mind that the CCTV does not imply passivity always. The CCTV can be controlling a long off angle and then controlling that sightline and then opening up to a different sightline and controlling that angle instead. And there's an initial scaredy cat moment where you scare the enemy team, and then again, you shut down that sightline, and then you force the enemy team to make a rotation and play around that position. So I don't think when you're playing Widow, you should necessarily differentiate between the two. You should do both. Just look at which one is needed at that even given point in time. You might think, oh, well, CCTV better versus dive. Maybe, yeah. I think like in certain extreme circumstances, like going for aggressive off angles and so on, is less valuable. But in general, like thinking about like even a sniper duel controlling a long sightline as Widow is still useful. But the unpredictability does get more value. But yeah. Are grapple dynamics separate from play dynamics or just fit the CD versus pick? Well, I think what you're trying to look for is you're trying to like look for like these hard rules and laws which can guide your play and be easier to remember. But keep in mind, the answer sometimes is like, yeah, sure, whatever. You know what you're looking for with grapple. You know what you're looking for. Don't overthink it too much. You often praise Ons as one of the smartest Widow players. From my limited time scrimming versus him, yes. Very unpredictable, very strategic. Does all of the strategy unpredictably fit into the spectrum of dynamic and Widow? I feel like that can't. I've been missing something. It's very smart how he executes either. Ons' smarts were specifically about him being very unpredictable in Widow duels. Very unpredictable in Widow duels. I don't know how well he did versus hard dive. He didn't scrimmage hard dive all that much. It was more of Widow mirrors and how does he going to change up and position his angle differently. And in that aspect, he was very intelligent. Widow is very one dynamic in terms of how she gets her value. But the way that one percentage point of value is translated is still relatively dynamic. Every character in Overwatch has some form of dynamics, right? Nothing only does one thing, but some have less dynamics, especially in playstyles than others. So I got some coaching book would like be okay to DM. Oh yeah, I guess we talked about that. Yeah. We'll do a couple more here. I just watched a part of the dev video where you talked about how they balance damage and tankiness, and there's a lot of different skills here, and damage is very lazy. I just there's mobility and range. I would add one other as utility. Some heroes have very strong and distinctive utility compared to others. Will all's a huge bard makes kit. I think balancing a character should be thought of as a bar graph in terms of these 5 things. Personally, thinking of what you need to blow it somewhere else. No hero should be dominant in all 5. If they have strong utility and tankiness, they can't have strong mobility, range, or damage. If they have strong, yes, yeah, that's fine. As for my question, do you think there's a way of balancing heroes would work? As in, do you think? Sure. I think that's fair. I think that's fair. I think having utility being a bar graph thing is maybe a little bit trickier, but possible. I think utility is definitely one of those esoteric, kind of like hard to grasp concepts or values, but it's possible. What's your opinion? Oh, Alexa, you're killing me. Somebody get this girl some help. What's your opinion on VOD reviews versus coaching during scrims in between maps? Anybody would prefer in-scrim even if it's not as real? I think it depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking to learn something, you have to do it with VOD review. If you're looking to apply and practice something, then scrim coaching is really good. Very situational. Depends on what you're practicing. Depends on what you're practicing. I've done live coaching often where what I'll do is if they understand the concept, then the scrim coaching or live coaching is good. Because I stay in their head, you know, and get them feeling like what it should feel like to play. But try to teach concepts in a scrimmage is impossible. Fairly, Lexa. Yes. Stop. Yes. I would say if the boxes help you to structure things in your practice better, then go for it. But if you feel like you own to overthink things and you miss the forest for the trees, you need to be aware of that. Can you play efficiently when you're sick? No. Yes, I will break these. I actually just subbed to OBS Sojourn recently. Super exciting. Let's do I'll do a couple more here. Would you like my another question about the Ashen scope and scope text? So here's a follow-up. Has any of this changed since the HP buff? Yes, a lot of the breakpoints have changed. So there's more benefit now to just scoping in and because the time to kill has changed. So you need more shots. So longer term. But keep in mind the unscoped shot still has technically higher DPS, but it's at the expense of your accuracy. Thank you for the sub, mate. 2 months. I appreciate it. You're getting, I think, close to another badge, actually. I think. Yeah. Lexa, you're asking me this question when you should be going into the practice range and practicing this question. Go into the practice range and you tell me, Lexa. Super action, but something on your survey that since you just said, I'm asking the question right there. How would you define imagination? Imagination is the gray area between the line of what you are or what is and the ceiling of what you can comprehend. So this is what is, and this is what I can comprehend. All right? This is what I can think of. And this is where imagination is. So that stuff that's beyond our imagination is stuff that we can't even comprehend, can't even fully understand. And so it goes beyond. Yeah. Good question. What is that emoji? Is that an Elden Ring Fitzy sorcerer? That's great. Okay, I'm going to stop there. I'm going to stop there. My voice is echoing. We're going to raid Commander X. So if you came here for companion stream, we're going to raid Commander X. Chat. I'll see you guys on Tuesday. Loves and kisses. Appreciate the subscriptions and all those shenanigans. I'll chat with you guys then. Tell Lexa I said hello. I will, like I said, see you guys on Tuesday. That is all. Lexa, you're going to have to save your questions for later. Cheers, y'all. Have a good night. Bye-bye.